HKFM.
The following is a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network. Stay tuned for exclusive coverage of Bueller Crusader football. Crusader football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra Radio app. Coming up, the Midway Motors drive to the game as Aaron West and Chris Schenk break down tonight's matchup. You're listening to Bueller Crusader football on HKFM.
Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hutch are proud supporters of high school sports. And of course we are proud to support our community any way we can. Good luck to all of our athletes this season. We hope you have a fun and memorable and most of all, healthy season. Be safe. Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the giant corner of Lorraine and 30th in Hutch or online 24/7 at allensamuelshutch.com. Come by. Let's be friends.
Well, a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Week 3 of Crusader football on this mid-September Friday night. We're at Jant Stadium in Winfield as the Crusaders get set to open league play against the Winfield Vikings. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside tonight's Midway Motors drive to the game. Aaron West alongside Chris Schenk, and Tyler Adams will be joined on the field tonight by Cliff Schenk for our broadcast as the 1-1 Crusaders on the road for the second straight week to take on the 2-0 Vikings. Our coverage streaming tonight on the Ad Astra Radio app. You can also download that for iPhone or Android, powered by Next Tech Wireless, because you're mobile and need to stay connected, and via the Crusader Sports Network on YouTube. Well, Bueller comes in after a tough loss to Andover Central last Friday in Andover, 21-19. Bueller down 14 points at halftime. They scored 19 unanswered to take a second-half lead. A late touchdown drive, though, by Andover Central sealed the game 21-19. Very unusual night for the Crusaders. Sam Elliott held to just 21 yards on 13 carries. That tied the fewest in a varsity game for his career. But a big night for Bradley Neal in the passing game. Brad went 15 of 31 for 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a late INT. That is a new career high for Mr. Neal, and it moves him up on the all-time list. That 223 yards is the 5th most in school history, and the 31 pass attempts also are among the most in school history as well. Brad threw to 9 different receivers on Friday night in a great second-half effort to make that comeback. Christopher, thought it was keyed by the defense after they gave up those 2 early scores. The defense really settled in, and then the passing game came up big to give them a chance.
Yeah, everybody that has watched Bueller the last couple of years knows, I mean, our number one goal on offense is to get the run game going with Sam Elliott. And one of the things that I was really impressed with, you know, Andover Central did a great job of taking that away from us. So when somebody takes away your go-to thing, can the other facets of your offense step up? And our guys did such a great job last week, showed a lot of heart. And I tell you what, the 9 different receivers making catches last week, that is huge going forward, because it is harder to defend a team that you know there's multiple people that can catch the ball. If you're dealing with a team that only has a couple guys that have catches, you know, hey, we just got to slow down this guy. If I'm Winfield this week getting ready, there isn't one key receiver that I say we take away him and we're going to be fine. I mean, there's lots of guys that showed that they have the ability to do so.
You talked about the effort. It wasn't just throwing to receivers. It was receivers going after balls, fighting for balls with defensive backs and making huge play after play. Matthew Eddy had a couple. Tanner Tushchin had one in the game. There were others as well. So it just effort in the second half across the board.
Yeah, and you talked about, defensively. I mean, the Crusaders, we fell in that hole. We're down 14-0, but then, really stymied him for, the majority of the second half, and really in that third quarter came out and set the tone physically and slowed them down offensively. Cale Kuntz, their quarterback, who's very talented. I mean, we started putting a licking on him, and you guys think about how aggressive he ran the ball in the first half to where the second half you could tell he wasn't as excited to take off and scamper because our defense was really putting some shots on him.
Yeah, T-Money, what's kind of the atmosphere been around the team this week? I know that hopefully that loss and the way they played in the second half will rally them together some and make them stronger as we go on.
Well, yeah, they definitely weren't happy about that loss at Andover Central, and they're really trying to bounce back, playing Winfield, hopefully getting a pretty decent win, but also being able to have big Trevor Cooper back on that strong side O-line is a big help. They definitely are way more confident than they were last week about their running, so we'll see how it goes.
And we mentioned Bueller held to just 1.5 yards a rush last Friday after averaging over 7 in week 1. You flip that to the defense and play a number that's kind of opened my eyes a little bit, Christopher, through the first 2 weeks playing these teams to want to run the football. 8 of 10 games last year, our defense held opponents under 75 yards rushing. Opponents through 2 games this year averaging 195. Now, it hasn't resulted in a lot of points, but that is a lot of yards.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, I will credit the first 2 opponents that we played. Both Goddard and Andover Central, they're, big schools. And I really do feel like Andover Central is going to be a school that we are going to see in the postseason and somebody that we'll have to contend with if we're fortunate enough to make a run in the postseason. But, there's going to be some teams later on this year. This team that we're seeing tonight in Winfield, they're going to make no bones about it. They are going to try to run the football. So tonight could be one of those nights that maybe we get one of those 75 yards or fewer if we really stuff them this evening.
Yeah, it still seems like the touchdowns, even though the teams have run the ball, the scores have come on the big plays. And we talk all the time about limiting the big plays in the game, and that was, of course, the case late when Andover Central hit that 54-yard screen pass. In tight games, those are the plays that you've got to try and limit.
Yeah, and, after that Andover Central game, you really have a whole week to really think about it and think about, there's some losses that really sting where you think about, man, if we'd only done this, or, we really made some bonehead mistakes. But that loss last week was one that, you feel like we did some positive things, and you're never going to be happy after a loss, but that's one that I don't come away from that loss last week thinking like, man, where's this team going to be? Where are we at? He detonated on that. So, he paid the piper to get that pass out, and it was just they barely got it out. So, these guys really, that loss from last week, I don't think this team is going to be one that's going to hang their head. There's sometimes where there's a loss that there's the hangover, like, holy cow.
Right.
It's going to really maybe get our guys down. I think these guys are going to be excited to get out here and get a chance to get some redemption and put that loss behind them.
Yeah, Sam Elliott got the Slobber Knocker Award in part for that hit that he put on the quarterback last week. Last thing, just looking at special teams, Tyler, and I think going forward we're going to have a huge asset in the kicking game. I know Jeffrey was frustrated with himself on Friday night for missing a couple of kicks. He had been beaten up a little bit in the JV game previous to that, and so he didn't practice a lot during the week. But just the 2 punts that he put inside the 5 alone, I think he's going to be a huge asset on special teams going forward.
Well, miss or not, he's a huge asset on the team. First off, they put the trust in him to make a 37-yard field goal. He just missed left, which is unfortunate, but for them to be able to have the trust in the kicker finally, it's been a really long time since we've been able to have a really consistent kicker, and to be able to have the holder like Logan Briner he does. Carson Moeller, the long snapper, had a couple shaky snaps, but for Logan to be able to get good holds on that, that you're going to be in good hands with Jeffrey kicking and Logan holding.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to go back to Ross Heide. The last time Bueller had a place kicker that they really put a ton of faith in, and he was fantastic. So here tonight, Bueller, it's been a long time since they've been 1-2. They certainly don't want to go down that road. You have to go all the way back to 2007, the last time they were 1-2 after week 3. They finished that year 7-4. Good news is they play a Winfield team they've never lost to. 10 games in the series, 10-0 all time, including a 21-9 win at home last year. Now, Vikings are much improved, and they are 2-0, and they're hungry. So we'll talk about them. We'll break down our opponent coming up. We've got much more to go in our Midway Motors drive to the game. Tonight's coverage brought to you in part by Hutchinson Community College, by the Mid-Kansas Credit Union, by Dick's Phillips 66, Newfelt's Flooring, and by Daylight Donuts. You're listening to Crusader Football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
You're listening to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Visit Midway Motors on 30th Street in Hutchinson or online at midwaymotors.com.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Coming up this day in Crusader history as the Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues on HKFM.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit midwaymotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hey, I can hear you.
For more than 90 years,
Can you send Vicky down this way?
College has been the
She's
premier
got a hot dog.
educational institution
Yeah, I'll look for
in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today to learn more about what we have to offer. Visit hutchcc.edu/admissions for more information.
Don't be left out in the cold shivering when you can have a heater in your coat. That's right. You can install the Anceris Torch.
Didn't realize we got a new mic.
Oh, I changed out, so
stay warm with up to 4 hours.
changed out the handheld part. Just borrowed one for this week to see if that gets rid of our noise or not. Do you know where your mom's at, Chris? Your dad's looking for her.
Shopping Sunflower Electric Supply keeps more money circulating locally. So come see us today, Sunflower Electric Supply in Hutchinson, Great Bend, or Liberal.
Hey, sports fans. All great teams include a great defensive strategy. That's what insurance is all about. Strategy to defend you, your family, and your possessions. This is Jordan Field. I'm proud to help our
That was a
clients
big
plan
exhale.
their strategy of protection through the broad range of services we offer at Fee Insurance Group. Call to find out how we can protect your health, life, property, business, and even your retirement savings. Since 1883, we've been here to stand between you and risk.
Visit feeinsurancegroup.com, your local trusted choice agent.
HKFM.
Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome back inside the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Time for this day in Crusader history as we dive back in the annals to the 17th of September in 2010. When Buter beat El Dorado at home in a 60-0 shutout. J.P. Lawrence had 2 INTs in that game. He finished the season with a school record 10. That team went 12-1 and went all the way to the sub-state final where they lost to Holton at home 42-7. I remember that year most for the Mud Bowl at Hayden. Buter had a tough time with Topeka Hayden and finally got the win over the Wildcats in a game where it poured rain in the sectionals in Topeka 21-0. And of course, they have one of those old Bermuda turf fields. And by the end of the game, the 50, from about the 50 to either 30 was nothing but just mud.
Yeah, I think about every time I've ever been to a game at Topeka Hayden, it's been Bueller playoff games, and that Bermuda field, Aaron, we've only seen it yellow. I'm sure early in the year it's a nice green and everything, but we've always just seen it being kind of a beat down hard pan.
Well, I think another week this week where two teams whose strengths are going to butt heads a little bit. Both teams love to run the ball. Bueller loves to stop the run. This Viking team has run the ball 80% of the time in their first 2 games. Their quarterback, Yingling, is a little bit hobbled this week with a thumb injury, and so it's possible they may try to run even more tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this game has the potential to be one of those games that just the clock flies this evening because, you know, Bueller's going to come out and try to establish the run. Winfield's going to come out and try to establish the run. And I really do feel like it's going to be a huge asset that between the two teams, you know, Bueller has the better passing team between the two this evening.
They run a robust offense with those big 3 backs. They'll also run a version of the I formation. They call it Minnesota right, several different names for it. But in that lineup, the tailback will almost be 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So he's way back there. But Arcosta, he's a big boy. Big and physical returning runner from last year. Reminds me of a much larger version of Sam Elliott in that if you don't fundamentally tackle him, it's very hard to get down.
Yeah, if you try to arm tackle or go high on him, you are going to pay the piper. He is a big, powerful back. You know, he's got a great stiff arm, and so really form tackling and going low is going to be incredibly critical tonight to try to slow him down.
The first 2 weeks, they've averaged 231 yards on the ground, and I know that's got to get our defense team excited. Those front guys, they love to hit people, so that'll be fun to watch.
Well, this week they're expected to basically, I feel like that Armand Acosta is the closest to a Derrick Henry is what we're going to see, basically, is what Colin Rowland told me yesterday. He's a big guy, 6'1", 215. So what they did actually, I've been told at practice a couple times this week, is they just practice tackling below the waist, being able to just wrap up the ankles and tackle them instead of having to worry about big hits like they do.
Absolutely. We'll see how it goes, how much Winfield decides to throw tonight with Yingling, their senior quarterback. Head coach Monty Lewis in his first year, not a stranger to Winfield. He spent a number of years in the KCAC here at Southwestern College. 22 years combined between Southwestern and Friends. He is the winningest coach at both of those programs, and he is a 4-time KCAC Coach of the Year. So that tells me a little bit of coaching pedigree there, and a guy who is really coming in trying to rebuild a program and kind of branding it on physicality, I think, is kind of his MO.
Yeah, very rarely do you run across a coach that maybe has more wins than Coach Warner, or has a resume comparable, but this evening we've got that in Monty Lewis.
All right, more of our pregame coming up. We'll get armored up after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
You're on a Midway Motors drive to the game. Listen to Crusader Football on your smartphone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. Your home for Crusader Football. Join Aaron West and Chris Shank every Friday night on HKFM.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th and Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Tough crowd.
A spot?
And welcome back on our Midway Motors drive to the game. Time to get armored up. Brought to you by our friends at HCU Investment and Insurance Services. Coach Coles joins us to break down the Winfield Vikings tonight. Coach, first just briefly jumping back to last week, love the way your defense responded in the second half of that game, and really thought they set the tone in that comeback and giving you guys a chance to win.
Right. Really, after that early first quarter, those first two drives where they scored, we really played pretty solid football. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. It was far from perfect, but getting the goal line stand at the end of the second quarter definitely gave us some momentum. And I really credit the kids on that. We talked on the sideline after that nice punt by Jeffrey, which always helps defensively when you can pin a team deep. We talked after that punt, about if we hold them here and keep them out of the end zone before half, that it'll give us the momentum. And, being able to do that and then go into the halftime and talk a little bit and come out and start the third quarter as strong as we did, I think that definitely did help overall. And, a lot of it goes to the mindset of the kids of knowing that if we get better each snap and if we come out and keep doing what we do, that it'll turn out well.
This week you get a Viking team that in their first 2 weeks has run the ball a ton. They like to be physical with those three backs lined up in the backfield. Thoughts on that? Obviously, do you expect them to continue running the ball as much as they have, or will they try and throw it a little bit this week?
I think that's what their identity is to run the ball and pound it and shorten the game and try to wear a defense down. They can spread it out. They've run trip sets, they've run some spread sets, one back stuff, but I think their mindset is that they want to establish that power running game and kind of make it their personality. And that's something that really in practice this week has been kind of energizing for our defense, and the fact that it's a challenge for us. Every week's a challenge, but a team that lines up and just says we're going to hit you in the mouth, defensively, you take that to heart and you do whatever you can to punch back. So it's helped in practice to give us a little extra energy, knowing that's what the mindset's going to be going into the game.
Arcosta, number 6, big, strong, really physical back guy. You've really got to wrap up low and really be sure on tackling. If you try and reach or grab, he's a guy that's going to take you with him. So
yeah, he's a big kid. He runs hard. He's got a lot of experience. He's played, started for him for the last couple of years. I think he's a stronger back now than he was last year. He loves to use a stiff arm. Watching the Titans running back and some of those big backs in the NFL, that's kind of starting to come back after disappearing for a while. But he, I think, is a much improved back. And, their quarterback, he didn't play last week against Labette County, but week 1, number 7, he's a big kid that can run as well. The younger kid that came in and played against Labette County has a lot of speed, and broke a couple of runs. So it's definitely a challenge for us. And like you said, the number 6, their big running back is going to be the focus of their offense, and he's somebody that we have to tackle.
All right, Coach, we'll appreciate your time. Best of luck on the field.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's Coach Coles. We're armored up, ready to go. More of our pregame right after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
The Midway Motors drive to the game.
Okay, fellas,
after this.
we'll head down
Still
for the
we'll
kickoff conditions coming up.
Look at other action in the AVCTL.
Testing, can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you really well.
Okay, good. Double checking.
That's exciting.
It's exciting to be able to hear me.
Roofing Company. Today I brought our 4-year-old grandson, Brogan. Brogan, did you know Ray and Sons Roofing is 80 years old this year? Do you know
I
what
was
that
counting
means?
up the marching band. I think there was maybe 30 members in the marching band altogether.
Yeah, they're pretty small.
How many does Bueller have? Like
You know what that
150?
means?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got to be 3 or 4 times that.
That's a very good thing. For
Getting
free
more than that.
inspection or estimate, go to
Like
Ray and
100.
Sons.
I don't think it's more like maybe 120.
20.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. A warmish start to the night, but we expect that to change as the sun goes down. We'll go downstairs for our Phoenix Restoration kickoff conditions, the company most trusted to deliver quality recovery services when disaster strikes. Call Phoenix Restoration the premier disaster restoration company. And Cliff, it should be a really pleasant evening here in just a little bit.
It's kind of a rare evening for Kansas in the fact that right now the flag is hanging limp in the north end of the stadium. And these are beautiful facilities here at Giants Stadium. The temperature at kickoff, 84 degrees. The wind out of the east at about 7 miles an hour if we have wind, but sometimes it dies down to where there's no wind whatsoever. But the people starting to show up here for the big game. They're fired up about their 2-0 start. I think they only won 2 games all of last year. So 2 wins coming into tonight. People fired up, and we're ready for some football.
Absolutely. Big night around the league. Circle at Augusta, Mulvane at Clearwater, Labette County at El Dorado. McPherson goes to Great Bend, Andale at Wellington, and Collegiate at Rose Hill. In Division III right now, Augusta, McPherson both 1-0. Winfield and Bueller playing their first league game tonight. El Dorado and Circle both start 0-1. And we'll follow games across our Ad Astra Sports Network as well this evening, including Lions at Nickerson. Trinity Catholic has their home opener tonight against Belle Plaine. Hoisington at Halstead. A couple of big 3As. And Garden Plain at Cheney. Check out our coverage on the Ad Astra Radio app and online at adastraradio.com, powered by Next Tech Wireless. The thoughts of head coach Steve Warner when we come back. Our Midway Motors Drive to the Game on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
You're listening to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Visit Midway Motors on 30th Street in Hutchinson or online at midwaymotors.com. Next, we hear the pregame thoughts of head coach Steve Warner. Your home for Crusader football, HKFM.
At Adams Brown, our clients are the center of everything we do. Hi, this is Brett Higgins. If you farm or in the agriculture, healthcare, construction, real estate, or own your own business, we'd love to talk to see how we can help your operation. Adams Brown, Strategic Allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
Hi, this is Randy Gotti with the Bueller Booster Club. Check out their Crusader Closet at our next home football game. Our customized designs and inventory are continually updated, from seats to blankets, t-shirts and sweatshirts, shorts and joggers. Crusader Closet has you covered for all things Bueller. All sales support our Crusader students through the Bueller Booster Club. Like the Bueller High School Booster Club on Facebook to keep up to date and outfit your entire family with the Bueller gear they want at the Crusader Closet.
And welcome back on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Time for pregame thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. In Winfield tonight, coach, first-year head coach, but certainly has had a lot of success. Monty Lewis coaching football over the year. You got a figure these Vikings are improved and they'll be ready to play tonight.
Well, without a doubt. And they've got a good senior class, so this is a good group for him to come in and get everybody to believe in what he's doing. And he's got them playing at a high level, and they believe, that they can play with us. So we've got to take that away from them, and we've got to be aggressive and have long, sustained drives on offense and play great defense, and don't give them any room to feel like they can play with us. I don't want to come down to a dogfight. We want to just get it taken care of and let them know who they're playing. And I know that we've got a target on our back with being Bueller and being successful in the past, so that that's a game that they have marked ready to go, especially with them being 2-0.
How much, with last week being so physical, such an emotional game, important for you guys to come out early, kind of establish yourselves and then set the tone in the first half?
Well, come out early and play at a high level, instantly play at a high level. And we do that, and good things are going to happen because I do think we have better kids, and that's my job to make sure they're ready to go. For whatever reason they weren't ready last week, that's on me. We've got to make sure they're ready to play.
I know you don't want your quarterback throwing 31 times a game. Now, he proved he could do it last week. But
that's not my ideal game, I'll guarantee you that. But
certainly you'd like to come out and get Sam established.
Yes, without a doubt, and then be able to run our play action. I mean, I would like 10 would be a perfect night for me, for him to throw 10 times, move the chains, hit a big deep ball to back the safeties up a little bit. But if we've got to throw 30 times to win a game, we sure will. And but for us, over the years, if we've had to throw a bunch, that we usually haven't won. And I still think high school football.
The Vikings are a team that wants to run the football. They've got some big backs.
Him to have the ball, he's carried it a lot, and he's done very well. And he's big, he's fast, elusive, and he has a big stiff arm that he loves to use. And we've talked about it all week long. If you allow him to stiff arm you, you're not going to be able to tackle him because he's strong and he can push you away. So they're going to have to go and tackle him low and gang tackle him.
Yeah, I guess they get to see that every day in practice going against Sam, a kid who if you don't fundamentally tackle him right, you won't.
Exactly. And that's what we've got to be able to do, and tackle low.
All right, Coach. Well, we look forward to it on the field. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
That is our pregame thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. We're back with more right after this.
Join head coach Steve Warner for the Crusader Coaching Show, Monday nights at 6:30. You've been listening to the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. The first half kickoff is coming up next, and Chris Shank brings you tonight's keys to the game on HKFM.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Mount Ridge and Bueller. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at mkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Bueller and in Mount Ridge. Member NCUA.
Manufacturing facilities, warehouses, oil, fuel and water storage, grain elevators, product makers, rooftops, HVAC containment, refineries, garages, and more rely on the quality and integrity of WIFCO products. Go to WIFCOSP.com for more. WIFCO Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Hi, this is Dr. Dal Hunt with Bueller Dental Care. You're listening to high school football on Ad Astra Radio.
And welcome back here, the Midway Motors Drive to the Game. Coverage of Crusader football in Winfield tonight, brought to you in part by the Bueller Booster Club, by Hutchinson Family Dental, Jackson Meat, by Rise Up Reno, and by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs. For a rankings coming into Week 3, Bishop Miege, they're 0-2. There's a chance they could be 0-3 after playing Aquinas tonight, but ranked number 1. Andover Central moving up to 2 at 2-0. They're at Eisenhower tonight. St. James Academy 3, McPherson 4, and Bueller now ranked 5th in the state. And I think most people feel that it's going to come down to Bueller, Andover Central, and McPherson in the West. I don't know if there's a team like Ark City that's going to sneak up in that mix this year or not. So far, it doesn't look like it, but it's still early.
No doubt about it. There's a lot of football left to be played before we get to Week 9 in the playoffs.
You know, as you go along, things like injuries change everything. So you never want to say never. Well, the captains are making their way to midfield. Bradley Neal and Sam Elliott and company head to the 50-yard line. This beautiful stadium, a fantastic night for football down in Cowley County at Giant Stadium. And we'll send you downstairs here momentarily for the coin toss. Get this game underway. Bueller trying to beat Winfield for the 11th straight time in this series. They've never lost to the Vikings.
You got Troy on that sideline, Tate on that sideline, and Tate back in. Y'all are the leaders of your teams, so anything that we need fixed, we're going to come to you guys. And same thing with y'all. You guys have questions, just ask us. We'll either answer that or we'll ask the calling official who needs to be looking in that area to answer that question for y'all. All right? Bueller, you guys are the visiting team tonight. The GWA symbol is going to be heads, and the Acacia symbol is going to be tails. So this is tails, this is heads. What you're called now, I'm going to let it hit the ground. Tails. You guys hear tails? Tails is the call. It is heads. You have won the toss. We'd like to defer. You guys want the football? Which end zone would you want to kick from? All right, move your backs to the end zone that you want to defend.
Okay, Bueller lost the toss, and so they will receive the football.
All right, well, the Vikings won the toss and elected to defer until the second half. And so Bueller will start with the football. Bradley Neal so far has completed 54% of his passes for 306 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 INT as he makes his way up the all-time leaderboard with 223 yards last week. Christopher, let's talk about some keys to the game.
Well, you've talked about the fact that Bueller's never lost to Winfield, so a fast start's incredibly important. With the new head coach, he's trying to tell these guys things are different this year, and if Winfield can get a lead early on, they're going to start believing that they have a chance to win. So Bueller getting out to a fast start is incredibly important. Number 2, obviously, Armand Acosta. If you stop him, you stop the Winfield Vikings. He's averaging 6.6 yards a carry. He's got 42 carries on the season, and so if you stuff him, you really take away their offense. Winfield only has 12 pass completions total. Last week, the Crusaders had 15 just in the one game alone. And then, obviously, the biggest key for tonight, the power run game bouncing back. You know, the fact that last week we only had 31 yards. Sam Elliott was held to his career low 21 yards, but yet the Crusaders had a chance to win at the very end. So a lot of this is going to be defined on how good was Andover Central's D-line. You know, and if we come out and run the ball like a typical Crusader team, it's really going to show how good Andover Central was last week.
Bueller averaging 30 points through 2 weeks on the season, holding their opponents to 17.5. Talked about Bradley Neal's numbers. Sam Elliott, the feature back in that yards last week. And also see Colin Rowland and Dalen Coffey in the backfield. Multitude of receivers. We threw to 9 last week. Brock McCurdy, injured in the game last week, is going to try to go tonight. We'll see. We'll throw the ball a lot to Dalen Coffey and Colin Rowland out of the backfield. Matthew Eddy really emerged himself last week with those 3 catches as well. And the offensive line, Cooper and Blake Ellis in the middle. And I'm hearing that Winfield's quarterback, Riley Youngling, is not suited up tonight. So it'll be the young guy who went against Labette County, possibly Landon Dupress, who will go for the Vikings. We'll find out when they take the field on offense here in just a bit. Bueller
Yingling was in street clothes.
All right, so no Yingling tonight. Bueller in their home road whites, with the maroon letters and the maroon helmets. White pants, blue tops, white numbers for the Winfield Vikings, and they'll be kicking off toward the south end zone.
And there is no wind out here tonight. How rare is that?
We're seeing a theme of bigger kickers these days, fellas. Austin Bryant, 5'11", 260.
And they have the ball laying on its side. Haven't seen that since Little River. Now they tee it up.
These big offensive linemen 2 weeks in a row doing the kicking duties.
I'm sure they're all former soccer players.
Well, McCurdy not out there on this return. They'll kick it to the far side. It's actually going to be Matthew Eddy who takes it at the 5 to the 10, 15, 20.
Oh.
Up across the 25 and a big hit at the end of the run. Do we expect, I think, this game to be physical, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a game where tonight both these teams are going to just line it up and try to run it right down each other's throats. So let's see if the Crusaders can set the tone physicality-wise here on this first possession.
Matthew Eddy just lowered the pads and plowed right into the defender, and the pads popped pretty good.
Football is going to be sitting at the right hash mark, the far hash mark on the Bueller sideline of the 28-yard line. Let's call it 1st and 10. And Brock McCurdy will start to the near side at wideout. Matthew Eddy is in the game at the super back to the right side, and he'll go in motion. Bradley Neal under center. First snap of the game, and a handoff to Sam Elliott. Starts left, goes right. Well, they thought they had him in the backfield. He slipped away and gets a couple of yards up to near the 30. Like we talked.
He's got that strength, and yeah, Winfield, they know what's coming. They had 8 in the box that time. This time they do go with 2 high safeties, but last go around they just had 1 over the top.
Vikings run a 4-2-5 defensively. 2nd down and 8 from the 30. Early first quarter, no score. Brad under center, 2 receivers split to the left. Here's Elliott, big hole on the left side of the line, has a first down and chugging his way across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Great second effort. Nice hole on the left side of the offense.
Well, great job by the O-line, really blowing the Winfield Vikings off the line here on these first 2 downs.
Yes, 13 yards on 2 carries. That's almost half what he got last week.
Just 21 gun, 3 receivers left and 1 right. Brad takes the snap, looking to throw, throws over the middle, caught by McCurdy at the first down, stick into the box, and Bueller's going to throw.
And that was a well-thrown ball, and I don't know about you guys, but just watching Bradley on that drop and throw, just lots of confidence there, and that's what's going to happen after a big week throwing like he had last week.
Well, he looks so comfortable in that pocket. It's really, unlike last year, it's really good to see him being very accurate with his throwing.
12 yards on 1 left. And Dalen Coffey at a receiver will go in motion. Cameron Campbell is also in there now on offense, and Bueller forced to take an early timeout here. A little miscommunication about where everybody's supposed to be lined up, and Bradley Neal has to burn a timeout.
Yeah, Bueller didn't have enough guys lined up on the line of scrimmage. They motioned Coffey in motion here on the near side, but Campbell was not lined up on the line of scrimmage, and you can't motion a guy from off the line onto the line.
Well, the Vikings run that 4-2-5, and they are aggressive up front with a bunch of seniors. Jellings, Bryant, Angle, and Brin. Really big in the middle. Austin Bryant goes 260. Jackson Angle at 255. Kind of some of the keys, some of the features of the 4-2-5.
Well, they got more D-backs out on the field, and so what they can do is you have that play caller. It makes it difficult to kind of know where all the defenders are going to be set up on the 4-2-5. And that's
1 for 1 in that passing game so far. But into Viking territory.
I tell you, the thing offensively, you know, other than that, having to burn a timeout right there, this opening drive, things have gone very, very smoothly for the Crusaders.
1st and 10 at the 47. It will be Coffey and Campbell to the near side, far side McCurdy with Bradley out of the gun. He'll put Campbell in the jet sweep in motion, and a flag comes out at the snap.
It's going to be a legal procedure. We weren't all set when Neal snapped the ball that time, so it'll cost us 5. So I jinxed this, fellas. I was talking about how clean we were playing, and then we get the penalty, but at least it's on 1st down.
That'll be Bueller's 12th penalty of the season. They came in averaging 5.5 a game, 50 yards. Here's the big stat. Their opponents through 2 weeks averaging nearly 12 penalties and 100 yards per game of penalty yardage.
Yeah, I mean, Andover Central was just a penalty machine last week.
So back to their own 48. It'll be 1st and 15. Brad stays out of the gun with a super back to the right. That is Coffey. Little misdirection. Sam Elliott trying to find some room to run and powers his way with 3 Vikings on his back across the 50 and to the Winfield 49 as he picks up about 3 on that carry.
Yeah, it was great pursuit that time by the Winfield defensive line. They did a great job staying at home. The defensive end on the near side, Cody Brin, really stayed at home, and Sam didn't really have much anywhere really to go there.
It was good block by Coffey for Sam to even get any of those yards.
2nd down and 12. Clock still running, 9:31 to play. First period, no score. Back to the I formation. 2 receivers to the far side. Tight end lined up on the right side of the formation as well. Brad makes the snap. Back to Elliott. Right side run. Has a hole at the 45. Still on his feet. And upwards to the 43-yard line. Looking at somewhere in the vicinity of 3rd down and 7 here.
Yeah, so it's a much more manageable 3rd down than the Crusaders were facing after that nice run. Good blocking up front for Sam by the Crusader front 5.
3rd down and 7. Crusaders' first 3rd down try of the night. Might be in 4-down territory.
That's what I was about to say. Here. Yeah, with where we're at on the field, yeah, this if the Crusaders can get it to 2 or less, for sure it's probably 4-down territory.
All right, they're going to go spread on 3rd and 7 with 4 wide receivers. Elliott, the lone setback to the right of Neal in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, looking to throw. Now Brad steps up, is going to run for it, and dives across the 40.
And man, that's not a very good spot because he clearly crossed the 40-yard line, but they're going to spot it back behind the 41.
Vikings had good coverage. And Brad spotted down at the 41. It looks like we are going to bring the punt team on and try and pin them deep. Boy, Jeffrey Neal had 2 inside the 5 last week, and just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the definition of coffin corner kicks is anything out of bounds inside the 10, and he wasn't just getting them out of bounds inside the 10, he was getting them inside the 5.
Vikings will have a man deep near the 5-yard line. Jeffrey angles it to this near sideline. It bounces, and
let's see how they are going to rule a touchback.
They are going to rule a touchback. It stayed inbounds into the end zone. It did not go out to the left of the pylon. It stays right. He did bounce it at about the 9.
Yeah. Not great field possession here to begin their first possession.
Vikings will have it at their own 20, so we believe it's going to be Dupress, the sophomore, 5'11", 160. He started last week. 6 of 11, 54% passing, 68 yards was Landon Dupras. And he'll be out of the gun with Acosta to his right, the big senior back with a carry on first down. And no gain, stuffed at the 20-yard line. And Bueller defensively in the middle there to shut him down.
Yeah, Sam Elliott with a good stop. And if you're a defensive player, you know, you love matchups like this where you have, okay, they've got one big guy, a feature back that it's us versus them. And, you know, defenses, to me, always feed off the fact that we know, hey, if we take this guy away, they're going to have a hard time moving the football.
Acosta, 42 carries, 276 yards in his first 2 weeks, averaging 6.5 a play. He goes 6'1", 215. They'll stay out of the gun. 3 wide receivers with Acosta, the lone setback. And they'll hand it off to the left side, trying to get to the edge. And boy, Bueller shuts that down as they seal off the far side of the field at the 20, and Acosta is going to be brought down here for a loss.
Yeah, it was the read option just to the left-hand side. And I tell you what, if you are Acosta, running east and west is not what you want to be doing, and that thing really got strung out. The Crusaders did a great job of just pursuing and dropping him for a loss, and now Winfield with a big third down, probably a throwing situation.
And it was great containment over there by the corner, Cameron Campbell, to be able to hold him there.
Loss of 2 on the play. Third down and 12 at the 18. Clock running, no score. 6:23 to go in the first. That Minnesota right. Look at the version of the eye. They're going to toss it in the screen toss out of that. Close to a first down. They've got it at the 30. A late break out of a tackle by Parker Smith. Just his second catch out of the backfield this season, and he finds enough turf on the far side after he broke out of a tackle to get the first down and gets up to the 34.
Yeah, with a young quarterback in a high-pressure situation, they try to make an easy throw for him. Just a little swing pass over there in the flat. Doesn't have to throw it down far field very far, but yeah, and he was lucky he broke out of that tackle there. There was some Crusaders out there. Campbell nearly had him.
So the Vikings get a first down. They'll stay out of the gun on 1st and 10 at the 34. Near side to Acosta. This time finds some room, uses that stiff arm to get to midfield. I heard Coach Coles in our Armored Up segment in the pregame tonight talking about he loves to use that stiff arm, and it gets him another first down into Crusader territory.
Well, and Acosta really showed some of his speed that time as Bo Van Bruggen was in great position, and Acosta just beat him to the corner and really was able to kind of hit the Jets. I was impressed with the speed there.
And what's going to hurt us are these big plays, just like Andover Central last week.
That is a 19-yard gain to the Bueller 47. Crusaders got into Viking territory in their first series and had to punt the ball away. Now the Vikes have it 1st and 10, their second down of the drive. 1st and 10 at the 47. And here's a handoff up the middle.
There's a QB sneak there, Dupras. There was a lot of traffic there. I could see where, but yeah, Dupras just falling behind his big center out there. Takes it upfield.
It's across the 45 to the 44. Vikings up front go 255, 260, 205, 205, and 200. They are huge on the left side with Angle and Bryant. 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3. Robust formation now with 3 backs in the backfield. And falling forward close to another 1st down. First carry of the night for Justice Tate, a 5'11 junior. Just his 8th carry of the season. And it's going to be about 2 yards shy of the 1st down at the 39.
Yeah, and Winfield definitely in 4-down territory here, as they already have it as 3rd and a long 2. But yeah, like you mentioned, the first time we've seen the robust or the T formation that time, and just a simple dive up the gut to Tate.
So Riley Yingling jammed a finger in the Arc City game, not able to go for a 2nd straight week. 3rd down and 2. There's the snap to Acosta falling forward, and he should be very close.
Yeah, they got him stopped. Good job by the Crusader Black Knight defense. A short gain, maybe even a slight loss is from the spot, so we'll take it. So now a huge 4th down.
Yeah, that spot has them at no gain.
Yeah, it looked like he got some forward progress, but we'll take that spot. But yeah, huge down here. Got to watch the ball. Be ready for the hard count.
All right, it'll be a big 4th down and 2. Clock running. First quarter, no score. Quarterback sneak. And it's all going to come down to where they spot the ball. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, Justice Tate, they are going to give him the 1st down. Justice Tate just ramrodded his quarterback forward. And Dupraw, not a huge guy, and so if he just gets underneath the pile and just kind of keeps on and chugging, that's what they did right there to get the 1st down. And I think they maybe are now going to call for a measurement. The white hat initially signaled a 1st down, but it's closer. Oh, now Buhler football. They say he was short. The white hat initially back here gave the 1st down signal, and so I thought, man, they're not even going to bring the chains out. But, yeah, they stop him short. He needed to get across the 38-yard line.
Did not.
Or, excuse me, the 37-yard line. They stopped him short.
Yeah, Monty Lewis out there talking to the White Hat, wanting to know what happened.
Yep.
Boy, if I'm Lewis, at the very least here, I would like to request a measurement, wouldn't I?
It is interesting, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they very rarely at the college or the high school or pro level ever bring the chains out to do measurements anymore.
So the Crusaders will take back over at their own 38.
So good field position for the Crusaders.
No score here with 3:52 to go in the 1st. It'll be Brad in the eye under center. Tight end to the right is Van Bruggen. Here is Elliott running right behind his senior tight end and goes forward for about a yard progress. We'll call it 2 to the 39 for Sam Elliott.
I think there's a little miscommunication down there for the Crusaders as they were talking. A couple linemen didn't block anybody that time, and so that's why there wasn't much of a gain. But this quarter, fellas, absolutely flying by.
Yeah, just 2 passes so far.
Any
one by each
chickens
team.
near?
So
Some chickens near?
2nd down and 9. Unfortunately, no. Out of the eye from the 39. Brad will take the snap. It's going to be handoff to the fullback. Dalen Coffey gets across the 40 to the 39 and gets pushed back, and then a flag comes down at the end of the play.
And it's here on the Winfield sideline, so let's see if it's on Winfield on Crusaders.
First Coffey by Dalen Coffey across the 40 to the 41.
Just a sideline warning on Winfield. So the get-back coach for the Vikings not doing his job right there.
That is the 4th carry of the season for Dalen Coffey, averaging 1.7 a tote. Here it'll be 3rd down and 9. Buhler not able to convert on their first series on a 3rd down, had to punt it away. They are 0 for 1 tonight. Here is Neal out of the gun, 3 receivers set, and the whistle blown dead at the snap.
Yeah, we have a legal procedure false start. We weren't all set that time when the ball was snapped. Just got a Buhler Dental Care scoreboard update. The Bullpups currently leading Great Bend 7-0.
Buhler beat Circle last week, or rather McPherson did, to start the league season 1-0. Augusta beat El Dorado. First league game of the year tonight for these two here. And it's going to be a 3rd and 12 with the penalty back at the 36. 2 receivers left. One to the right side. Neal out of the gun. Takes the snap on 3rd and long. Has plenty of time. Steps up in the pocket. Down the field, and that's got to be pass interference. That has to be pass interference.
No flag.
Brock McCurdy got pushed in the back and knocked to the turf, and they don't throw a flag.
Wow, and the official was in good position right there to see what was going on. And
there's a lady official back there, and I'm going to pick on her. Why didn't she throw a flag? I have no idea.
And we could very easily see Brock McCurdy get pushed from behind.
Yeah, it was directly in front of us right at the 40.
And so it'll be 4th down, and Jeffrey Neal will come on to punt yet again.
Yeah, Coach Warner said that's got to be pass interference. Not pleased with the lack of a call.
Neal will kick from near his own 25. Vikings have a return man deep, and boy, that's
that
not
punt
what
went straight up the elevator shaft.
Jeffrey wanted to do. Straight up in the air, and it bounces near the Winfield 45, and it'll take a roll to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Matthew Eddy did a great job of just sliding to stop the ball, because after it hit, that thing started spinning straight back, cutting up the yardage that Neal had gained there. But, yeah, that a little bit high on that punt.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from what the Vikings are trying to do here, but it feels a little bit early, like in some situations, Crusaders kind of beating themselves with a couple of untimely penalties and a couple of things here.
Well, the Vikings are playing good defense. They're playing very physical out here.
So expected it to be a very physical game. It has been so far. 1st and 10 for Winfield, their second series from their own 49. It'll be Dupras out of the gun. Hands off to Arcosta, trying to get to the edge. Breaks out of a tackle by Van Bruggen. And then finds his way forward on the right side to the 45 into Crusader territory.
Well, Arcosta really showed his strength that time, because Bo Van Bruggen is not a weak individual. And Bo, who was in good position, tried to make the tackle, but Arcosta just ran right through it.
Yeah, picked up 7 yards. Winfield's bringing it tonight.
Yeah, Van Bruggen and Arcosta size-wise pretty even, but Arcosta just tossed him aside that time. Got 7, 2nd down and 3 from the right hash mark, left to right. Dupras out of the gun with Arcosta to his left. 2 receivers right this time. They want to throw. Looking to throw far side, one-on-one. Receivers got it at the 35 and brought down. That is Armand Acosta out of the backfield. Has another Viking at 1st down. And for Arcosta, that is his 3rd catch of the season. Came in with two receptions for 46 yards.
Yeah, our safety over on that side, Cody Wisecarver, who was in coverage, just kind of got turned around the wrong way, and they were able to loft it over the top of Wisecarver, and Arcosta able to hang on for the catch and the 1st down.
He has great bursts of speed. It's very quick.
He did a good job of coming back for the ball.
12 yards down to the 33. Back to the robust and on the ground. Not a ton there for Justice Tate.
Well, good to see the Crusaders stopping the dives, because if you're a running team, that's where it all begins, the ability for them to hit you with the dive and then slowly work out to the sweeps and so forth. So if you can take away the inside game and force them to run the sweeps, it really helps the defense out.
Talking about how fast the quarter's going by, we only have 45 seconds left in the 1st quarter.
It has been a quick one, no score. This second possession for the Vikings. Bueller has had the ball twice and punted twice. Back out of that robust T formation. It's a keeper by Dupras, and he'll be brought down on the near side after a short gain. There's several Crusaders in the air, including Dalen Coffey at the 30-yard line, a gain of 3.
And a great job that time by Ostrom staying at home. He was there to make the tackle in the open field. Good to see your corner staying at home.
Expecting that to be the final play of the 1st quarter with 10 seconds left. Vikings will be facing a 3rd down and 6. Coming up here, Crusader football tonight on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. Down to 4 seconds. I don't think they'll get the snap off before the clock expires. They will not. So we're at the end of the 1st, and we have no score in this league battle between the Crusaders and the Vikes. Friday football. You're listening to Crusader football action on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
When disaster strikes your home or business, call your hometown team. Call Phoenix Restoration. Hi, this is Robin Swanson. My husband Ryan and I and our team at Phoenix Restoration are proud to be Reno County's only locally owned fire and water restoration company. When the unthinkable hits your home or business, we are
Picking
here
up
to
some
help. We'll
interference.
put our 10-plus years of experience to work to help you recover. Check us out at phoenixrestorationandroofing.com. Phoenix Restoration will help you rise again after your disaster.
Just like Hutch has been synonymous with salt dating back to its discovery here in 1887, Cargill is synonymous with salt. Cargill Salt of Hutch, proud to support the schools of Reno County. Collaborate, create, succeed. Cargill Salt of Hutchinson.
HK. And back here from Jant Stadium in Winfield tonight, Crusader football brought to you in part by Ray and Sons Roofing, by Cargill Salt, the Sheila Metzger Agency, by the Medicine Shop, and by Midwest Iron and Metal. I said 10-0. Bueller's actually 12-0 all-time against the Vikings. The series dating back to 2010.
Yeah, these teams started playing each other when the AV, the Ark Valley League, and the Chisholm Trail League merged together. Because before, for a lot of years, Winfield played Hutch and Newton and all those guys, and when they merged the leagues, got put into Bueller's division.
Crusaders have scored 25 or more points 10 times in the series. And they are 5-0 here at Jant Stadium. 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings at the 35 with Dupras out of the gun. Pressure from the edges to throw. Man caught inside the 20-yard line. They'll have another first down. And that is Kyan Tolles on the catch. And the senior makes his first catch of the night and move the sticks. Vikings are now 2 for 3 on 3rd down.
Yeah, Kyan Tolles, a big target, 6'3", 195, a former soccer player who came back to football and just ran a nice little kind of hook route where he got past the stick and set up shop, and nice throw made there by the sophomore Landon Dupras.
14 yards, 1st and 10 from the 16. They'll go back up the middle. The ball is loose out of the hands of Arcosta.
Got it.
The Crusaders are signaling they have the football. Boy, sometimes in a game like this where things, momentum is not going your way, it takes a big play to swing that, and that might be it right there.
Matthew Eddy, the guy on the football getting the recovery for Bueller, great job. He's been a guy that he can lay some licks and really has a nose for the football. What a great break for the Crusaders.
Crusaders definitely needed that. They were flat. Winfield was driving. Everything was going the Vikings' way.
Vikings now -3 in the turnover department for the Crusaders. That is their 3rd forced fumble this season. 1st and 10 from their own 13. Here's 2nd quarter, 11:31 left. Play action. Brad to throw. Finds back out of the backfield, far side. First down, 25-30 and out of bounds. That is
Colin Rowland.
Colin Rowland, who is out of the backfield. A nice catch on the far side, his 5th of the season.
Well, Coach Warner in the pregame talked about how they wanted to get the play action game going. And I tell you what, play action on first down when you're running team like Bueller, great play call by Coach Warner. That's going to make the Viking defense think every single time on first down the rest of the night.
Almost looked like a horse collar tackle out of bounds with no flag.
19 yards on the catch. It'll be Collins' longest of the season. 1st and 10 at the 32. And Bradley stays out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers set. They'll go to Elliott on the ground. Has room up the middle. The 35 and the 40 across the 40 and dives to near the 41-yard line. We talk about that turnover. Go back to week 1 where Goddard had the momentum early in the half. Matthew Eddy with a huge pick. This time it's the fumble. But Bueller right now starting to capture the momentum in this game.
Yeah, Tyler, we were talking about in the car ride down here. Matthew Eddy is just one of those guys, just brings it whenever he plays ball.
6 yards
every time
to the 38. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Back to the ground game. And
there goes Sam.
Sam with an inside handoff has the first down across the Crusader 45 up to the 47. And a gain of 9 yards and move the sticks.
Well, just from watching the early returns in this game, guys, I have a feeling Sam's going to break a couple big ones tonight because Winfield is selling out so much to stop the run. You'd think, oh, you load the box, it's going to be harder to break big plays. But I tell you what, you have so many people up so close to the line. If he gets by that second level, there isn't anybody there to catch him.
1st and 10 at the 47. Crusaders driving their 3rd series of the night. No score, 10:21 to play in the first half. And here's Elliott again, hard inside run across the 50 into Viking territory.
Still going.
Still on his feet somehow. Wow.
Further downfield than that before they blew the whistle, but he is just so tough to bring down, fellas.
They were trying to strip the ball away rather than tackle him, and he just kept going.
Yeah, Bo Van Bruggen leading the way with a big block. The tight end goes for 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Clock running at 9:55 to go in the second. They'll stay with the I formation. McCabe to the near side, McCurdy to the far side, the wide receivers. Bradley will take the snap from Ellis, inside handoff to the fullback, and near the first down stick. See where they mark it. That is Colin Rowland in on the carry. It's across the 45 to the 43. That's going to be very close, and they signal first down.
Yeah, great job by Rowland, just kind of weaving forward on the fullback dive. You don't need the fullback dives to go big, just need to get those positive yards. That's exactly what Rowland did right up the gut against the Winfield D.
Taylor Coffey, Matthew Eddy will rotate in on this 1st and 10 from the 43 back in Winfield territory for the 2nd time tonight. They'll go with the 2 superbacks, 2 wings to the left and right. Brad out of the gun. Elliott so patient to find the hole across the 40. Another big run for Sam across the 35 and to the 34-yard line. And again, I would emphasize just so patient and vision to see that hole.
Yeah, he really have great eyes for a back. And I tell you what, fellas, Sam Elliott's confidence has got to be getting back to typical Sam levels where he knows, hey, if I just put my head down and do what I'm supposed to do, good things are going to happen.
Well, he reminds me of Le'Veon Bell in his prime because he was just so patient, would never rush things, trusting his line.
We're down and 2 at the 43-yard line. Crusaders trying to move the sticks again on this drive out of the I formation with 2 tight ends. And Sam Elliott across the 30, stumbling his way across the 25. And he has another first down. Bueller nearing the red zone for the 2nd time tonight. Trying to break the 0-0 tie we have on the scoreboard with 8:16 to play. Ball gets down to the 23-yard line.
And I believe there's going to be a timeout on the field.
Yeah, Winfield's just trying to slow down the pace because after the couple big runs, Bueller was taking the pace a little faster.
All right. Crusaders with the first down. When we come back, 0-0 score here on HKFM at the Crusaders Sports Network.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Moundridge and Bueller. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at nkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member-owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Bueller and in Moundridge. Member NCUA.
Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
HKF.
Well, Sam Elliott came into the game 3,165 yards rushing in his career, 8th all-time, and he's going to move way up from that in his senior season. He needed 55 to catch Dylan England for 7th. Pretty sure he's already got that tonight. And so continuing to climb up into the upper echelon of the who's who of Bueller running backs. 1st and 10 at the 23.
Van Bruggen just came off to the sidelines getting his hand taped up.
So Bo Van Bruggen will be replaced at tight end on this play. 1st and 10 for the Crusaders out of the I formation. Right hash mark, left to right. Elliott trying to cut to the outside, down back inside around the linebacker at the 20. Still on his feet, and down to near the 17-yard line. So difficult to bring down.
Yeah, he really made something happen out of nothing that time, as it looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but just kept his feet, kept his balance, and kept chugging upfield, and was able to turn what could have been a no gain into a 5 or 6 yard pickup.
Well, Bueller started this own drive back at their 13. They're now down to the Viking 17. So 70 yards they've driven, and a 2nd down and 5 here inside the red zone. Out of the I formation, back to Elliott on that ground game. Big hole up the middle, this time inside the 10. Still on his feet down to near the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, great job blocking up front. He didn't have a single hand on him until he got through the line of scrimmage. And now the Crusaders with a 1st and goal opportunity here near the 6.
Hey guys, is it bad luck to stand on Jinx the Black Cat?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I'll move. I don't want to jinx anybody but.
The goal line, but fell forward for 6.
Yeah, great. Just hard run inside, just attacking the A gap. And Elliott with his first score of the night. The Crusaders with their first lead of the night.
For Sam Elliott, his 3rd touchdown of the season, the 45th of his career. And Jeffrey Neal.
Project done. Call us at Johnson Sheet Metal or stop by 512 South Main in Hutchinson. We know metal. Hi, this is Sarah Johnson, and my family has been in business for 99 years. With a huge stock of different sheets, shapes of steel, stainless, galvanized, and aluminum, Johnson Sheet Metal has what you need. We cut to size, bend, roll, punch, or weld to your specifications, and can make your ag replacement panels too. Call us today. Johnson Sheet Metal, 620-662-0224.
For more than 90 years, Hutchinson Community College has been the premier 2-year educational institution in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today to learn more about what we have to offer. Visit hutchcc.edu/admissions for more information.
Hi, this is Dr. Dow Hunt with Bueller Dental Care. You're listening to high school football on Ad Astra Radio.
Halstead 6 after 1. And our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Dupras out of the Minnesota I will hand off to the fullback. And what a big surge. That is a power play by Parker Smith, who carries it forward. He just put his head down and churned for 10, make it 11 yards and a 1st down.
And Bueller never brought him down. I mean, he left the field still on his feet. Kind of like some of those earlier plays with Sam Elliott where they just blew the forward progress dead, but really never stopped him.
All the way to the 27, 11 yards on the carry by the fullback, Parker Smith. Vikings 1st and 10 at the Bueller 27. Last time Winfield was down here, they fumbled.
At Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Hutch, we know trucks. Whether it's a half-ton, three-quarter-ton, or one-ton, with a bale bed, hay bed, or flatbed, Allen Samuels and Hutch can customize your next truck to fit your agricultural needs. Stop by today on the giant corner of Lorraine and 30th or online at allensamuelshutch.com. Allen Samuels is a proud supporter of our community. Come by, let's be friends.
And we are live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. It'll be 4th and goal at about the 3.5-yard line. Well, I think you've got to, if you're Bueller defensively, don't you pretty much know what they're going to do?
Yep, and maybe look for a bootleg or some sort of play action pass sometimes down around the goal line. You know, this scenario, they might try to just run it down our throats, but don't be surprised if they don't try a little trickeration here or something different than what they've been doing.
We are getting close to Halloween, aren't we?
Yes, and those black cats on the field.
Time to bring out some trickeration there in the robust on 4th and goal. 3:18 to go before the half. Dupras will snap it. Hand it off. It is Acosta. Bowls over a linebacker. Actually, it was defensive back Cameron Campbell into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, the trickeration they did that time was they ran away from the heavy side, the unbalanced side of the line. They had been running behind the unbalanced side all night long. That time they just sent Acosta the other way, and Winfield ties it up on that 4-yard run by Acosta.
There wasn't anything tricky about that. Acosta just blew his way into the end zone.
3rd touchdown of the season for Armand Acosta. That ties the game at 6 with a chance now for Austin Bryant to boot through the go-ahead point from the 10.
Snap.
He's able to get it up and away, and it is good. So the Vikings take a slim 1-point lead, 3:14 in the clock in the first half. 7-6 Winfield. Bueller will have the ball when we come back on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Hi, this is Jade with Idea Tech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Bueller, Kansas. Idea Tech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Bueller Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you'll talk to a live person from our offices in Bueller when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability, or call 620-543-5000 to inquire about our services.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
HK. Well, a 7-6 Viking lead on a 8-play, 38-yard drive. All of that was set up with a fantastic return. After the short kick, Vikings started at the Bueller 38-yard line. 3:14 left before half. Plenty of time. Let's go get that lead back.
Yeah, the Crusaders have a golden opportunity here to try to retake the lead here going to the locker room.
Vikings deferred into the second half, and so they will have the ball to start the third quarter. Lights on here at Giants Stadium on a fantastic Friday night. And Austin Bryant to kick away with Mason McCabe and Matthew Eddy back deep. And an end over end. And Matthew Eddy fumbles the ball at the 10, picks it back up, returns 15-20, 25-30. He's got one man to beat.
Oh, they ripped his head off.
It's got to be a penalty.
There's a flag.
There's a flag at the 50.
2 flags now.
Austin Bryant, the kicker, was the lone man to beat here at the 40-yard line. And Eddy was about to blow by him, and boy, Bryant just reached up and grabbed either the neck or the shoulder pad and ripped him to the turf.
Yeah, Eddie's entire head turned around on a swivel. And, you know, Coach Lewis is over here signaling like it's a penalty on the Crusaders. The fact there's 2 flags kind of scares me. There's a hold on Bueller.
They are not going to call a penalty on the Viking kicker. They're going to call a holding call on Bueller. Wow.
And that's 2 calls now
that they have missed terribly.
And has been clear as day.
Third penalty in the game on the Crusaders.
And that one again happened directly in front of us. I mean, Eddie had a great head of steam, like you mentioned. He had one guy to beat the kicker, and as the kicker broke down, just reached up, grabbed his head, his entire head turned around. Those of you watching at home, you saw it happen, and that's just a really tough break for the Crusaders because we should be on the other side of the 50, and now instead we're back behind the 20.
And once again, the official closest to the no call was the lady.
Back at the 19-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10, 3:02 left here in the half. Each team with a touchdown. Bueller missed a PAT, so a 1-point Viking lead. They'll run the play clock inside 10 seconds here. And Bradley Neal out of the gun. 4 wide receiver set. Here is Sam Elliott. Finds a hole far side across the 25. And up to the 27-yard line. So 8 yards on first down. Well, if they can't stop Sam, that spells good news for the Maroon crew.
Yeah, great carry on first down for Mr. Elliott.
They quickly get back to the line on a 2nd down and a long 2. Brad wants to throw. Plenty of time in the pocket. Now steps up and scrambles away. He's got a first down at the 30 and falls forward to the 34-yard line. That is the 2nd time in this half tonight that I've seen Brad make a really good decision when his receivers were covered to take off and run.
Yeah, as he was feeling the pocket collapsing, did a great job of just stepping up in the pocket and getting the first down as he tucked and ran it.
Gets 7 yards up to the 34. It'll be 1st and 10. Back to the I formation. Play action. Brad rolling out to his left. Finds his fullback rolling out of the backfield. First down into Viking territory across the 40, down to the 45, and they'll mark him down all the way to the 43-yard line.
They ran that play action where they faked the run play to the right and then rolled him out to the left. Great job by Roland, just snaking his way upfield. Great pitch and catch, and the Crusaders now back in Winfield territory.
It goes for 23 yards, longest of the season for Colin. 1st and 10 in Viking territory. Brad wants to throw again, near side to Roland, across the 35, close to another first down. Was that Dalen Coffey that time? I'm sorry, Dalen. Brad looks really comfortable right now, guys, in the passing game.
He does. There's sometimes when you're in a hurry-up situation where a quarterback maybe looks off kilter or rush, but he just looks very comfortable and looks like a senior who's been out there on the field for a lot of downs for the Crusaders.
That pass to Colin Roland goes for 10 yards.
And big thing, the clock stops as he goes out of bounds.
I'm sorry, the Dalen Coffey goes for 10. 1st and 10 at the 33. $1:54 left before halftime.
Crusaders still have 2 timeouts remaining, so that really gives you a lot of options on what you do with the football here.
They'll go with 3 receivers to the far side, Eddie to the near side. Brad out of the gun, wants to throw, going for the big enchilada. Has Eddie in the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders!
And the Crusaders did a great job of setting that up. They went trips to the left, had Eddie on the near side to try to get that single coverage, and Eddie did a great job. The ball got hung up in the air a little bit, but Eddie waited for it patiently and was able to haul it in and take it to the house for 6.
It is such a great sight to see Bradley being able to throw this accurately this season. It is so fun to watch.
Last 2 weeks, guys, Matthew Eddy is emerging himself as a playmaker. 33 yards on the TD, 1:48 to go. Bueller's going to go for 2, try and make up for that missed PAT. It'll be Brad out of the gun with Sam to his right. Wants to throw, scrambling left, and finds a man. Does he hold on? There's a flag down.
And with where that flag's at, it's probably going to be a hold on the Crusaders, yes.
Hit the man in the end zone. Was that Eddie who caught that pass? I'm not sure. But a flag down in the backfield.
He had a good vantage point down there on the field. Did it look like a hold down there? Yep.
So that'll be 10 yards, and they will have to replay here. I'd imagine now, don't you just go for the, or do you still go for 2? Back at the 18.
It's not an easy play either way. I was watching 2 Winfield players that ran into each other defending that. They really hit hard. I'm glad nobody was hurt.
And Chris, you've been saying ever since Eddie transferred to Bueller, you just keep ranting and raving how good he's going to be, and he has capitalized on that.
Yeah, just watching him, and the Crusaders are going to burn a timeout. You know, I had the luxury of getting to watch him in freshman football and in JV football, and just a kid that both sides of the ball just plays with such heart. And anytime he's got the ball in his hands or he's the guy making the tackle, I'm a happy camper.
Crusader football coverage tonight brought to you by Johnson Sheet Metal, by Prairie Bank of Kansas, by Bueller Round Table, by Idea Tech, and by Withco Steel Products. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report coming up tonight. Recap our first half. We'll visit with Director of Bands for the Bueller District, Eric Stambaugh, talk about their upcoming marching season, and go around the horn to the other sports this week in Crusader sports. Find out what's been happening elsewhere.
Hey, Aaron, ask him how many people are in the band.
I'll try to do that. Vikings taking a long time on their sideline. Bueller on the other side to talk this over with 1:48 left before halftime. After the penalty on the Crusaders pushes the ball back to the 18. That is Bueller's fourth penalty tonight.
Some penalties hurt more than others. That's one that if the Crusaders don't get the conversion here, that's one that cost us 2 points.
Yeah, any penalty that costs points, it hurts.
Well, they're still going to go for 2 here.
Which that's the right call, because that's a long field goal try for just a point.
Trips to the right, single receiver to the far side. Brad will be out of the gun with Sam Elliott to his left. On this try for 2 from the 18, Brad to throw. Near side end zone, overthrows Matt Eddy, incomplete. So Bueller 2 touchdowns tonight and 2 missed extra point opportunities with 1:48 to go in the half. It is Bueller 12 and the Vikings 7 here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dal Hunt with Bueller Dental Care. At Bueller Dental Care, we have great registered hygienists to help schedule your family for convenience. You will receive high-quality dental care and build a positive relationship with our experienced staff in a pleasant and reassuring atmosphere. We like to have some fun with you and get to know you.
Is he the only sponsor?
So be sure to give us a call at
Is he the only sponsor?
620-543-2768.
Who's that?
Or
Dal
email
Hunt.
us at
His commercial keeps running over
No,
and over.
no, we keep hearing they have
Bueller
liners,
Dental Care,
Dad.
providing healthy
You're hearing
smiles
liners.
with a gentle touch.
At HR
That's the
Law,
spot,
you
but
can
a lot
turn
of them
your
are
passion
liners.
for tax prep and helping people into a career with us. Local classes near you, beginning September 20th in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth. Learn more at
Are we able to communicate to each other now
hrblock.com/beapro.
from commercials?
HKFM.
5 plays, 81 yards on that series for the Crusaders. And Matt Eddy with a 33-yard haul-in for the touchdown with $1:48 to go. Bueller went for 2. Holding penalty pushed him back to the 18, and then an incomplete pass for 2. So just a 12-7 advantage.
Right. It's
and
a live ball.
A squib kick gets away from the return man at the 10. He picks it up to the 15, and it'll be down at the 17-yard line.
And who makes the tackle on special teams? None other than Matthew Eddy. So he's doing yeoman's work out there, but great coverage. The Crusaders, that squib kick, executed to perfection there.
Well, the Vikings with 1:41 to work will be from their own 19. They have not shown us the willingness to try and go deep downfield. That's really not in their arsenal. Typically, we'll see if Coach Lewis wants to take a couple of shots here, though.
That squib kick was hit really hard, and it looked like a knuckleball coming down here. It was wobbling all over the place. Winfield kid touched it, but anyway, Bueller's good coverage.
They'll have 3 backs lined up in an I behind Dupraw, who wants to throw one-on-one coverage. Good coverage downfield. It's nearly picked off, and then it's incomplete at the 45-yard line. If they call that...
There's a flag in the backfield. I think they're going to say maybe roughing the passer, perhaps.
I think there's going to be a holding call, too.
From where the penalty was, it's not going to be pass interference. I thought that was great coverage downfield.
Yeah, it was Deontay Campbell. Now, one mistake Campbell made is he tipped the ball up, and as a D-back, you never want to tip it up.
Vikings have not been whistled for a penalty tonight.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 40. Those penalties will also
They're going to have offsetting penalties, a roughing the passer call against the Crusaders, a hold against the Vikings.
No, ineligible receiver downfield.
Sorry, yes.
And sometimes you get into that on those play actions where they fake the option. And he sold out where he went down the line of scrimmage and dropped back to throw. And so they really tried to sell the run there as one of the linemen was downfield. But, yeah, the good news for the Crusaders, we're just trying to get the stop here before the half so time comes off the clock. And they still have a long ways to go.
Kaya Toll's the intended receiver. With the offsetting penalties, it'll be 1st and 10 again. At the 19, they'll replay the down. 4 receivers set.
Draw.
Dupras straight up the gut near the first down. Flag out again across the 30. And Dupras tackled at the 31-yard line of the quarterback draw to the right side.
I think it's going to be a hold.
Yeah, from where the flag is, you would think so.
Yep, Deontay Campbell redeeming himself that time, helping to make the stop along with Sam Elliott. And with that hold, it'll be from the penalty, which was thrown in the neck of the woods of the 17-yard line. So now, if you're Winfield, they're going to be a little bit probably cautious, more cautious here than they would be with a sophomore quarterback there backed up inside his own 10. Maybe the Crusaders could turn him over here.
Ball's at the 9.
Takes him back to the 9. The Vikings with the holding penalty. First calls against the Vikings tonight have come on this drive with 1:26 now on the clock running. Buhler leading 12-7.
And Coach Lewis is really kind of taking some time. The timeout's going to be burned here. Let's see who takes it.
I think the Vikings are going to burn another timeout. 1:20 left before halftime. 12-7 Crusaders up here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Stay tuned for tonight's Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Prairie Bank of Kansas
offers a full line of mortgage products to fit almost any need. You can get started anytime, day or night, through our online mortgage resource center. Visit State Bank for more information.
Concerns. You'll find us in the heart of the community, helping wherever we're needed. We enjoy working with local schools to help promote activities like sports and extracurricular learning. We hope you support these valuable activities too. We'll be right here with you. Visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson, or check us out online at prairiebankks.com. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
1:20 left here before halftime at Jant Stadium in Winfield tonight. The Vikings and the Crusaders. Their opening league game of the season. Buhler will be home for 3 straight weeks after this. Vikings go on the road next week to McPherson. 1st and 20 after the holding penalty. Dupras out of the gun with 4 wide receivers. They give it on the ground to Acosta. He's going to get across the 10 and tripped up at the 13-yard line after a gain of 4. Good.
I think Buhler may be using their last timeout.
You know, Coach wasn't happy with himself in the way he talked about it in his postgame interview, that he was frustrated the way that he managed the clock. He'd have a chance for try at another score.
Well, Coach Warner's really showing his faith in his guys out there calling the timeouts here. I love the call because you're basically telling Winfield, we believe our defense can get the stop here. And with how deep they are, you know, Buhler, it'd be awesome to try to get a shortened field to try to do something here before the end of the half. And so that means, you know, I bet you Winfield might try to keep it on the ground here, force Buhler to burn that last time out. So that way they would have the opportunity to eat up more clock if they ran it on 3rd down as well. Oh, now they say they're out.
2nd and 16. Off near side. Gets it across the 15 to the 16-yard line, a gain of 3. Can run one more play if they want to and get us to halftime, and they'll have the ball to start the second half. Reminder to join us Monday night for our Crusader Coaches Show. We're live every Monday with Coach Warner. 6:30 from Taco John's in Hutchinson. Taco John's, bigger, bolder, better. Try their new items on their valuest menu. Third down and 12 with 29 seconds left in the half. Out of the robust, and Acosta again.
It was huge for the Crusaders to score right there, because if the Winfield Vikings would have had another possession like they did when they scored, having the ball the second half.
Halftime. Buhler leading 12-7. As the Crusaders will head to the locker room with a slim lead. And the Vikings will have The ball is down there from Coach about the first half.
Well, Coach, a good drive to take the lead.
Well, it was a good answer. They've been pounding the ball really well, and we've got to do a good job in the second half of stopping that. And then it's nice to see us answer. Bradley did a good job, and then we're disappointed on the 2-point conversion with the penalty, and then also we felt like we had an open receiver, so we got to get that corrected. But I'm pleased with the kids the way they answered. That says a lot about them.
Yeah, beautiful night for football.
It always is a beautiful night for football.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
All right, we're at halftime, 12-7, Crusaders with the lead. Coming up, we'll recap our first half, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Band Director Eric Stambaugh. We'll talk about the marching band's upcoming season. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Bueller leading 12-7 here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Stay tuned for tonight's Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Prairie Bank of Kansas, serving Central Kansas since 1886. Coming up, an in-depth look at Crusader athletics and activities with This Week in Crusader Sports.
At Adams Brown, we go above and beyond to help our clients. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We love to show how our team can help your business. Stop by our Hutch location at 30th and Plum or check out adamsbrown.cpa.com. Adams Brown, strategic allies and CPAs. Above and beyond.
Steve here from Red Rock Auto Center in South Hutchinson. Routine maintenance of your car ensures that it will deliver the performance that you need and expect. Make sure your vehicle is ready for that next road trip by scheduling a visit today. The better you take care of your car, the better it will take care of you. Red Rock Auto Center in South Hutchinson. We're here when you need us.
What makes Jackson Meat a cut above the rest? Our homemade products, friendly smiles when you walk in the door, and our reasonable prices are just a few of the reasons why our customers love shopping with us. If you haven't experienced Jackson Meat, we invite you to stop in and take a peek. From our weekly specials, meat bundle packages, gourmet seasonings, and fresh baked goods, we have something for everyone to enjoy. Come see us, 13 West 6th Avenue, Hutchinson.
Experience the difference at Jackson Meat.
And back here at halftime as we come off the field for a minute and into the classroom, specifically the band room. Preview what our Crusader Marching Band is doing this fall with Director of Bands for USD 313, Eric Stambaugh. Eric, thanks for your time, buddy.
Hey, I just appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, how good is it to, you and I were talking about a busy schedule and competitions coming up. How good is it to get your kids back on the field and get them involved in some of this stuff again?
Well, first of all, it's so great to get the kids back in the activity. I know that the kids felt like they got shortchanged last year with everything that was going down. We did have one virtual competition, but that was held in October, early October. And after that, we went right back inside. So the kids are excited to be back. As you know, we're basically starting 2 freshman classes, and this is kind of the first year where half of our band is going to a competition for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, just with the COVID scenarios and the things that you guys have had to battle through. And you told me you've added a competition to the schedule this year. So
yeah, we've got quite the grind this year, but it's a good grind is what I call it. We're going to open up with October 6th at Emporia State University. We've never gone to that festival. That's going to be held during the day. And then we're going to go through the gauntlet. We're going to be going to the Olathe Invitational. Then we're going to be going to the Shawnee Mission competition the week right after that. We get a week off, and then we go to the big finale, which is the Kansas Bandmasters Association, what we consider kind of the creme de la creme of the kind of like a state championship where all the best of the best will be there. And that's going to be at KU. First time ever. It's been held in Topeka for the previous 6 or 7 years. And this time it's going to be at the University of Kansas.
Talk a little bit, of course, you guys will be rolling some of that out. I know coming up at halftime of the home football games this year, a little bit about the show.
Yeah, it's a 3-movement work. It's called Ripple Effect. And basically everything in the show has a cause and an effect. So when something happens, it ripples throughout the show. You'll visually see it. You'll also hear it auditorily and, with music involved. The kids are really putting a highbrow show together, especially without having the activity last year. I couldn't be more happy for the kids. As a matter of fact, today we finished the show, and at homecoming we'll be putting in the first of 2 movements, and then the next week hopefully have the last hurrah on the field so everybody can see what we're going to be taking to competition.
All right. Well, we look forward to it. I know you're a busy guy, not only with the band program, but put your coach's hat on as well, and then following Ethan all over playing soccer too. So busy time for you guys.
Yeah, it's just a blessing to be a part of the men's and women's soccer team. Couldn't be more happier. Great coaches and even better kids. And I love always following my son, as any dad would say.
Absolutely. Eric, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing the kids on the field, and hope competitions go well this year.
Well, we're looking forward to representing Buhler well. Thank you for having us on.
All right, that is our Director of Bands, Eric Stambaugh, with us here at halftime. We've got more coming up.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Coming up, we'll bring you analysis and break down the numbers from tonight's game. Stream HKFM right to your phone with the Ad Astra radio app. Your home for Crusader football, HKFM.
For more than 90 years, Hutchinson Community College has been the premier two-year educational institution in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today to learn more about what we have to offer. Visit hutchcc.edu/admissions for more information.
Dr. Ediger genuinely cares about his patients. He knows his stuff. He is easygoing and makes you feel really comfortable. It can sometimes be intimidating going to the dentist. He does everything he can to ease your worries, especially with the kids.
Hi, this is Dr. Corey Ediger, inviting you and your family to call me at 663-9136. That's 663-9136. Or stop by my office on East 30th to make an appointment today at Ediger Family Dental.
Their patients come first.
At Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Hutch, we know trucks. Whether it's a half-ton, 3/4 ton, or 1 ton, with a bale bed, hay bed, or flatbed, Allen Samuels and Hutch can customize your next truck to fit your agriculture. Is a proud supporter of our community. Come by, let's be friends.
HKFM.
And welcome back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report as we go inside the numbers to the first half, brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Online at adamsbrownCPA.com.
Well, one number that didn't even show up on this first half, absolutely flying with both teams' dedication to running the football. In the first half, total offense, Buhler has the advantage to run off 26 plays to Buhler's 24, so both teams have had about the same number of plays. Through the air, Buhler with a slight advantage, 110 rushing yards compared to Winfield's 99, and we'll get into the individual stats here now. For the Crusaders, sorry, trying to read through here. Leading rusher at the half for 3, and Dalen Coffey with the carry for 2. For Winfield,
that's crusadersrt@gmail.com.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
From the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, back here at halftime with our This Week in Crusader Sports. Varsity Golf placed second at Monday's Wellington Invite. Their 207 placed them one stroke behind top finishing Circle. The Lady Crusaders tallied 6 golfers inside the top 20, led by Callie Cooper in third, while Taylor Hummel was 7th. Buhler's JV also placed second at the same event with a final team score of 254. Morgan Carson was the highest finishing Crusader in 7th. Sloan Atkins placed 8th, and Ava Waln 10th. The JV squad was back on the course Tuesday at the Andover Central Invite, where they shot a 202 to place 5th. The varsity girls will be back on the course Monday at Cherry Oaks in Cheney. On the soccer pitch, in a game called early due to lightning, came away with a 6-0 convincing win over Circle Tuesday. Ethan Stambaugh had a pair of goals in the match. Our Tyler Adams had a chance to catch up with him after.
How has your team been able to rebound back, and with those first 6 games, how do you feel like they've gone no matter the output?
I think we've played good in all of them. I mean, we're young. We just had to figure some things out on the team, and once that happened, we're starting to click and get our mojo going. So,
how do you feel like that going into league play? How do you feel that the rest of your season is going to go, being able to click?
Well, yeah, there's no really easy opponent in our league. We got Mac, Augusta, and all those other teams, but the way we've been playing recently, I wouldn't be surprised if we do really well. I think the sky's the limit for our team. I think we can make a deep run this year.
Then Thursday at Salina South proved to be much more intense as the match went into OT, tied 1-1. The South Cougars would come up with the eventual winning goal in extra time, claiming a 2-1 victory. The lone Crusader goal came off the foot of senior Cooper Taylor. Bueller is back on the road this coming Tuesday at El Dorado. In tennis, the Lady Crusaders hosted their home invitational Thursday at the Balzer Tennis Courts in Bueller. The varsity played to a second-place team finish with Casey Leal in third in number 1 singles, Kendall Burney sixth in number 2 singles. On the doubles side, Olivia Frederick and Kayla Babcock both landed fourth. JV claimed an 8th-place team finish. Sienna Douglas was 9th and Cassidy Banning 12th on the singles court. In doubles, Ashlyn Coker and Maddie Tanksley placed 11th. Jaden Gillette and Haley Ruiz were 12th. A busy Saturday sees the varsity head to Smoky Valley, while the JV will split meets between Mays and Andover. After a big team win last Saturday at Wamego, the Bueller boys cross-country team hosted their home meet this Thursday at Prairie Ridge. The Crusader men placed second in the 5-team field. Tanner Lindahl medaled second, Caden Lawrence 7th, and Austin Lindahl 8th. The varsity girls, meanwhile, captured third out of the 8 teams competing. Lindsay Warner was the top finishing Lady Crusader in 7th. It was a 1-2-3-4 finish for the JV boys. In fact, Bueller dominated the course, recording 7 of the top 8 finishing times. Spencer Hines led the pack with Chris Utze second and Henry Trump third. The JV girls took second, led by Evelyn Stobbs' 5th place effort. The Bueller runners sprint for McPherson this coming Thursday. JV football came away victorious Monday night at home against Andover Central. The Crusaders held on for a 26-14 win over the Jags at Crusader Stadium. Jeffrey Neal, Jay Spencer, and Austin Gentry each recorded rushing touchdowns. Bryce Ruda would secure the win with an INT in the 4th quarter. The freshman squad, meanwhile, fell 13-7. Bueller's lone touchdown came on a 24-yard pass from Brendan Skripsik to Jeremy Gentry. Both teams will be back on the field this coming Monday at home against the Winfield Vikings. We'll be back home for homecoming next Friday night at Crusader Stadium as the Bueller Crusaders host the El Dorado Wildcats at 7 o'clock. Join us on air 6:25 next Friday from Crusader Stadium with our Midway Motors drive to the game. We'll check other scores. Second half coming up tonight from Winfield are This Week in Crusader Sports.
This has been the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Prairie Bank of Kansas, serving Central Kansas since 1886. Join Aaron West and Chris Shank every Friday night for Bueller Crusader football. The second half kickoff is coming up next on HKFM.
Newfeld's Flooring, your experts in design and installation of carpet, tile, wood, and vinyl floor covering. Proudly sponsoring Bueller High School activities, Newfeld's Flooring in downtown Bueller.
At Midway Motors, we are here for you for every mile of life. Whether you're shopping for a new or used vehicle or selling one, Midway Motors will buy your vehicle even if you're not in the market to buy one of ours. Just stop by one of our 5 locations and one of our appraisers will evaluate your vehicle and you can leave with a check the same day. It's fast and easy. Visit MidwayMotors.com for more information. Midway Motors, for every mile of life.
Come visit us at Bueller Dental Care. Our friendly and experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around, and we like to have some fun and get to know you while you spend time with us. From regular fillings, cleanings, dental implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to call us at 620-543-2768 to schedule your next appointment or email online at drdalldds@gmail.com. Bueller Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Rise Up Reno and Tad Dower want to remind you that prevention is available.
When you get involved in drugs and I'll turn in it for you. And I want people to have that opportunity for a happy, joyous life. And I just see that drugs and alcohol just tend to suck that right out of a person.
Visit our website, Rise Up Reno.
HK.
Tough tonight on the Crusaders as a great return again for the Vikings.
And so the return man from Winfield was able to hit the edge and able to take it deep into Buhler territory. So not the start that you wanted if you're the Crusader defense. Now you got to shorten field to try to keep Winfield off the board here.
Well, ironically, the Vikings only touchdown of the first half. They started the drive after a great kick return from the Buhler 38. Guess where they're at?
Misery loves company, I guess, so we like to start those shortened drives there.
Well, they've got to figure out a way to shore up the special teams tonight. Out of the gun, Duprat goes to Arcosta. Yard to the 37 by the big back, actually, drive in the first half. Duprat out of the robust, 3 backs behind him under center. And a far side run. This time it is Justice Tate across the 35. And forward progress will take him up to the 33, a gain of 4 more. Vikings looking at a 3rd and about 5 here.
And this is a huge, huge down for the Crusaders. If they can stop him here for no gain, it'd be really kind of a real gamble for Coach Lewis to go for it. If they pick up a couple yards, it'll be a no-brainer 4-down territory.
I bet they'll go for it one way or the other.
Landon Duprat was 3 of 3 passing for those 42 yards in the first half. Bradley Neal 5 of 6 for 97. Very efficient tonight, looking very comfortable in the pocket. 3rd down and 5, clock running, 10:29 to go in the 3rd. Duprat from under center. It is going to be Arcosta to the far side. He's not going to get the first down. Stopped at the 30. And he's going to be actually back to the 31. He gets 2. And it's going to be 4th down and 4 here.
So this is really kind of dangerous because you have 4th down and 3. It's a lot more manageable. 4 yards is a lot different than 3 yards here. So
maybe closer to 4th and 3.
Yeah, be ready for the hard count here.
This is their 3rd 4th down conversion right here.
Let's hope it's not a conversion.
Vikings are just 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Ooh, Crusaders nearly jumped. 4th down, they'll go to Arcosta. He's going to be stuffed. Stuffed in the backfield, and the Vikings will turn the ball over on downs.
And a big hit that helped finish him off that time was thrown by Colin Rowland. A couple Crusaders stood him up in the backfield, and Rowland came with the final blow to knock him down to the turf. Huge stand for the Black Knights right there.
Boy, I know Arcosta is your bread and butter, but everybody on that Buhler defense knows it. Don't you almost have to try to come up with something different on a play like that?
Well, in visiting with the Winfield play-by-play guy before the game, he talked about how they make no bones about it. They are just going to pound the rock inside the tackles, and that's exactly what Winfield's done tonight.
Well, the Crusaders with a big stop to open the second half, get the ball back, lay it on the ground, big hole left side, where they almost horse-collared him again. He spins out of a tackle, has the first down across the 45, and down to the 47-yard line. I don't know if you guys are noticing that, but they are tackling up around his neck. Couple of grabs and ripping the shoulder pads.
Well, one of the reasons Sam's getting tackled so high is because he isn't a super tall back, and so if you try to come in high on him, you're going to come in extra high, and that time great effort as he was nearly tackled at the 40 but then fought his way forward for 7 more yards.
Sam 96 yards in the first half, goes over 100 tonight with that run. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. And they'll keep it on the ground. Elliott flag comes out as he gets across the 50 into Viking territory. We'll see what the call is. He's going to be tackled.
Oh, another flag.
At the 48, now a flag from the far side.
Well, and Trevor Cooper that time was really, there was a little extracurricular activity going on between one of the Buhler linemen and one of the Winfield D linemen. Cooper stepped in and really showed some leadership that time, kind of calming them both down. I'm sure the first flag is going to be a hold, but I'd be shocked if they called a penalty because that flag came in so late after really the kind of the altercation had ended.
The officials huddled in the middle of the field at the 50-yard line to discuss. The call is going to be here. Clock stopped, 8:59 to go in the half.
That penalty will be enforced 10 yards from the spot of the foul. After the play, dead ball, personal foul, defense, number 72, unnecessary roughness.
They're going to enforce both penalties here. One came during the play and the other after.
And Buhler gains big time there because, yeah, we gained 5 yards after that's all said and done.
Yeah, 10-yard holding, 15-yard personal foul, 5-yard net gain.
That does not happen very often. From the Viking 46. Out of the I formation, 2 receivers to the right side. Here is Elliott. Jumps to the outside after going up the middle and finds a hole for a first down across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Boy, doesn't it feel, fellas, right now like hand the ball off to Sam and they can't stop him.
Yeah, and a great block thrown that time by Mason Jones. He completely sealed off the Winfield defender. And the beautiful thing for Buhler, having the lead, having some momentum, if we can just grind and run right at Winfield, this is exactly the type of scenario Buhler wants to be in.
And it's good to see Sam being Sam back at what he does well, unlike last week.
12-7 Crusaders, 8:23 to go in the third. 1st and 10, the Viking 39. Out of the eye, it's going to be Sam the Man Elliott.
Another flag.
Flag comes out. That's probably holding across the 35. And Sam falls down to the 34. That came all the way from the far side of the field on the Buhler sideline. Now the laundry is being flung around here to start the second half.
Well, Mace McCabe sure wanted to talk to one of the officials about something.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation.
That'll be the 6th penalty issued against the Crusaders. It'll be a 5-yard variety. And push the ball back to a 1st and 15 at the 43.
Well, I'm sure Winfield, having the ball to start the second half, was hoping to come down, take the lead. When Buhler stopped him, kept him off the scoreboard, if Buhler can go down and add to the lead, big momentum swing.
1st and 15 at the 39. Out of the eye, they'll go with a double tight set here on first down. And Sam Elliott running right at the line of scrimmage. Well, not much there.
One of the few losses of the evening, and that time Elliott, right after he took the handoff, had a couple Winfield Viking defenders right in his face. Not much of a hole right there.
He's going to lose.
2nd and 16 here for Buhler with 7:23 remaining in the third.
Crusaders will stay in the eye from the 46. 2nd down, 17. They'll keep it on the ground, and Sam Elliott is wrapped up in the backfield. Vikings cover up the handoff to Elliott at the 50. And a big tackle in the backfield for the Vikings.
Acosta crashed into Sam Elliott, head-on collision. Elliott got the bad end of that deal.
So now 3rd and even longer here, fellas, and now Buhler in a big-time passing
stick up at the 29-yard line. Out of the I formation, play action. Brad rolling out to his right. He's going to tuck it and run. Gets across the 40 and goes out of bounds.
Penalty really hurts the Crusaders, because if we had been on schedule down and distance-wise, we'd have a first down right now. But now the Crusaders will punt it away. And got a Buhler Dental Care scoreboard update from out at Great Bend. McPherson only up 21-19. The Great Bend Panthers really airing it out, coming back on the Bullpups.
So Bradley Neal with a 12-yard run. That'll bring up a 4th down and 9. And Jeffrey to punt it away, try and pin him deep. And we got too much of that one. And we'll go out of bounds.
It's all how far back up the sideline the official chooses to walk.
Perfect coffin corner.
They're going to.
What?
We'll take it.
Mark it at the
4. We will take it. The guys in the Winfield clock operator not very happy, because that ball landed probably 10, 15 yards to the west of the end zone. And so we will take that mark off, fellas.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they did that.
Hey, that's the 3rd punt in 2 weeks that Jeffrey has had.
Sailed and caught the corner. Beautiful kick.
All right, from the 4. Vikings will take over.
I was going to say, have some other Buhler Dental Care scoreboard updates elsewhere on the Ad Astra Sports Network on Hit Radio 94.7 KSKU. Nickerson leading Lions at the half 20-16.
1st and 10, Vikings at their own 4. Down 12-7, 6:24 to go in the third. And they'll ground and pound across the 5 to the 6-yard line. A keeper by Dupra on first down goes for 2 yards.
Good safe play with the sophomore quarterback operating near his goal line. Anytime you're inside the 5, it's kind of a danger area, so just trying to give some breathing room there on the QB sneak.
Well, if Buhler can continue to contain the run, it's going to be tough on the Vikings. If they could get up another score, kind of take control of this game. We'll see. A lot of time to play. 5:49 in the third. Vikings on a 2nd down and 8 from their 6. Out of the robust. Dupras under center. Goes to Acosta on the ground. Inside carry. Forward progress to the 9. 3 more yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Bueller's doing it, kind of get caught falling asleep and not aligning correctly. Unbalanced lines can really hurt you, but Bueller's done a good job of settling in and making the adjustments up front.
That's where if you're Weiss Carver, Deontay or Cameron Campbell here, Javon Ostrom, we got to stay on your toes. 3rd and 5.
And a pick 6 for one of the Bueller D linemen, I believe.
68.
That was Jackson Childs with his pick 6.
A low snap. It was a bad snap from Jackson Jellings. And Landon Dupras picked it up off the turf, being pressured in the end zone, tried to get rid of it. And a pick 6 by Jackson Childs.
I've known Jackson for a long time. I went to school with his mom, and if you were going to tell Jackson Childs, hey, you're going to have a pick 6 as a senior in football, he'd probably be shocked. But great job by Jackson having his head up. And
third, Bueller adds a defensive score, and Jeffrey Neal will miss again, wide left.
That wasn't his fault. The snap was
a little off kilter, and kind of one of those things where once you miss one PAT, a lot of times people start really thinking and worrying about get that train back on the track.
Yeah, field goals and PATs. It's a 3-man effort.
Hikes from their own 21. 3-back set in the eye. They'll pitch it to Acosta. It was a high pitch. He's able to hold on to it. And gets across the 30. Up to the 31-yard line for a gain of 10.
Marcus Voss, he's hobbling pretty bad.
Defensive tackle position.
Kind of the traditional Bueller quick 2-tech.
One of the 22 seniors on this Crusader roster.
7th grade, we had a count of 40 to start the season.
30-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2 for the Vikings. 4:18 now to go in the third. Peter up 18-7 out of the robust tee. And up the sideline. And near midfield before he's driven out of bounds. Let's see what the spot is.
Deontay Campbell saved the day. Otherwise, Acosta would
off out of bounds. But if, like you said, if Deontay Campbell doesn't get a piece of Acosta there, he might still be running to the north for 6.
Yeah, he was flying around the corner.
Pushes him out of bounds at the 47, a gain of 17. 1st and 10 Vikings. They stay in the robust. Single receiver either side. And a straight ahead play across the 50 into Crusader territory up to the 48-yard line. The keeper by Dupras. And gets
being a team that is a ground and pound team, they can't afford to go down 3 scores because that would put an incredible amount of pressure on a team that traditionally doesn't throw it much.
That was kind of a weird play. Parker Smith, the fullback, it was like he was riding his quarterback and just shoving him up the middle from the very get-go.
2nd and 5 from Bueller's 48. Out of the eye, here is Acosta.
Got hit right away. Earlier on in this drive, they had the triple option quick pitch, and that went for some decent yardage. That time, the Crusaders defended it perfectly. Dupras getting hit and Acosta getting stopped just as soon as he got the pitch.
Lost a yard back to the 49 on that play. And our Acosta is going to come off the field here.
Well, Winfield's subbing like 5 or 6 guys at a time sometimes.
Armand Acosta chugging off the field. So somebody else besides number 6 going to get the rock here on 3rd and 6, clock running with 2:41 to go in the third.
Empty backfield for Winfield, and they're going to have to call a timeout.
Vikings will burn a timeout.
Spread off.
2:36 left in the third. Bueller 18, Winfield 7. This is Crusader football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Mid-Kansas Credit Union, serving Central Kansas from their locations in Mount Ridge and Bueller. Take control of your accounts and sign up for online banking at mkcu.com with features like remote capture deposit and online bill pay. Member-owned and proudly supporting Crusader arts, athletics, and academics. Mid-Kansas Credit Union at 200 West 2nd in Bueller and in Mount Ridge. Member NCUA.
For more than 90 years, Hutchinson Community College has been the premier two-year educational institution in Kansas, offering the highest quality education at an exceptional value. Schedule a personal campus tour today to learn more about what we have to offer. Visit hutchcc.edu/admissions for more information.
HKFM.
And back out of the timeout. Vikings with a big 3rd down and 6. They were showing spread really for the first time tonight. They've not thrown it a ton.
Yeah, Duprah was 3 of 3 in the first half, and
3 of 4 now with an INT.
Yep, and just 6 completions on the season for Duprah coming into this evening.
So none of his balls have hit the ground.
No, they have not. 5 wide receiver, empty backfield set with Duprah out of the gun. They're going to load Foyt.
Perfect positioning by Cameron Campbell. He took away the inside from the intended receiver, Kyan Tolles, and great position. And Kyan Tolles maybe got away with a defensive pass interference as he really kind of hammered Cameron Campbell, but great job by Campbell there.
Tolles is much bigger than Campbell, about 5 inches taller and quite a bit heavier, so it was great for Cameron to be able to stop that.
And they're going for it on 4th down.
And passing Duprah, nobody back for the Crusaders. This is going to roll inside the 20 and down to the 16 is where it'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, the fact when they were going for it, or at least we thought we were going for it on 4th down, it really was going to illustrate the fact of how scared they are about being down 3 scores. Being a run team. But I tell you what, fellas, I can't tell you how important I feel like this possession is right here for the Crusaders. If Bueller can put together a scoring drive here and go up 3.
From the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Come by, let's be friends. Bueller in the I formation on 1st and 10. 2 receivers left side. Brad will take the snap from Ellis. Hand off to Sam Elliott. Left side run, cuts inside. And forward progress up to the 19. And Sam with a good gain of 3 on 1st down.
Yeah, the beautiful thing with Bueller having that 11-point lead.
Team improved. They're better than they have been. So much about building that program, too, is getting your guys to believe in what you're preaching to them.
And this power run game offense really fits the Winfield personnel very well.
2nd and 8 from the 19. Out of the I formation. Here is Sam. Big hole up the middle at the 25-30 and down to the 34-yard line and move the sticks. Another big run for Sam Elliott.
Touchdown saving tackle made that time by inside linebacker Parker Smith, and a huge pancake block that time by Trevor Cooper to help spring him for the big run.
I do like pancakes.
Yes. You didn't have one at lunch today, though, Aaron.
I did not. 15 yards on the run for Sam. I don't even remember what I had. I couldn't tell you. Some kind of sandwich. 1st and 10 at the 35.
A turkey sandwich.
Yeah. Back in the I formation. Coffee and Eddie are the receivers to the far side. And play action, Brad rolling out to the left. It's going to be a quarterback run at the 40, 45, 50. Biggest run of the year for Bradley Neal into Viking territory down near the 46-yard line.
Yeah, they faked the fullback dive to the right, and then he just tucked and ran kind of in a convoy sweep. Great job by Neal. Really caught the Winfield Viking defense off guard. And, guys, this drive right here, like we said, chance to really kind of gut this Winfield Viking defense here if we can put together a score.
Boy, when the quarterback runs like that, just adds huge dimension to your offense. 1st and 10 in Viking territory, down to 39 seconds to play. Might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back in the I, back to Elliott on the ground. Breaks out of a tackle, still free, diving for the 40. He'll pick up 6 yards on 1st down.
Sam does such a good job of keeping his shoulders square to the hole that time and having that good body lean. Looked like he was going to be stopped after about a 2-yard pickup, but kept the feet chugging and was able to squirt forward down to the 40.
Bueller will not have to run another play here in the 3rd. They'll have it 2nd down and 4 coming up from the Viking. Inside run and a big hit. He's going to be stopped for no gain.
Good job by Neal just getting back to the initial line of scrimmage. They ran the quarterback counter that time, and Winfield did a good job of getting some upfield pursuit by their D lineman and was able to swallow Neal up right at the initial line of scrimmage. Just got another Bueller Dental Care scoreboard update. McPherson leading Great Bend 24-19 at the beginning of the fourth quarter out in Great Bend.
All right, 3rd down and 2 at the 22. After the no gain on the keeper by Brad Neal. Double tights on 3rd down out of the eye. And Brad will give it off to Sam, and he is met there by the trio of Viking defenders. They'll lose a yard back to the 23, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So the Bueller offense kind of stalling out after we have the 2nd and 2. Minor losses on the last couple of plays, so now a 4th and long 2, maybe 3 here for the Crusaders. It's a big chance to really kind of take control of this game here. If Winfield can get the stop, they'll have some wind back in their sails.
Vikings just with that one score. That came back late in the first half. 4th down, a long 2 here. Out of the I formation. Fullback handoff. And stopped about 1.5 yards short up the middle. Will be a turnover on downs. On the carry by Colin Rowland.
The Crusaders went to the triple option to the left that side, gave it to the fullback up the gut, and Rowland had hit the hole with a lot of gusto, but Winfield was able to swallow him up after he only gained about 1.5 yards. Needed to get the 2, maybe 3 yards, so the turnover on downs will give it back to the Winfield Vikings. Luckily, they still got a long ways to go, taking over at the 22-yard line.
Still life in these Vikes. Sometimes with Elliott's working so well, and I know you've got to mix it up, and you're like, yeah, maybe I should have just given the ball again to Sam. 1st and 10 at the 22. Duprat under center, play action, wants to throw one-on-one downfield. Deontay Campbell with the coverage. Did he hold on to the interception? Pick off.
Great play made by Deontay Campbell. You know how you beat a bigger guy? You beat him with physicality, and Campbell was right there step for step in his hip pocket, made the quarterback throw over the top of him, and he went up and just took it away from Kyan Tolles for the INT. What a big pick for the Crusaders right there.
And once again, it's Cameron Campbell, or excuse me, one of the Campbell brothers. Who knows which one it is? Number 4, Deontay Campbell. Well, they're both 5'10", and Knowles is 6'3", so it is very big for Deontay to be able to get that.
All right, that pick up at the Crusader 44-yard line. Great one-on-one coverage by Deontay Campbell.
And that takes a lot of guts for Campbell because he was in single coverage that time. If he loses his man there, that would have been 6 for the Vikings. So great job by Campbell hanging tough in there and getting the pick.
8:18 left here in the 4th. Out of the I formation, Bueller +3 tonight in the turnover battle. And Brad wants to throw a one-on-one on 1st down over the outside shoulder of Matthew Eddy, incomplete. What was that?
Colin Rowland.
Colin Rowland over there on the far side.
Now it's just thrown over the outside shoulder of Rowland, so tough catch to make as you want to usually try to catch it over the inside shoulder, but it was thrown to the outside, so it made it tough for the defensive back to try to make a pick, so it's all right. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Defense is coming up big tonight. 2 INTs and a forced fumble. 2nd down and 10 at the 44. They'll mark him all the way up to the 49. Another play where you're like, man, not much there, and Sam finds a way.
Yeah, great job, Matthew Eddy, the super back, really did a nice job of blocking out there on the edge. And Sam Elliott, as always, just he can turn something out of nothing anytime. And great pickup there on 2nd down, brings it 3rd and short.
3rd and 4 is a big 3rd down right here.
Yeah, the Crusaders probably not in 4-down territory unless they make it 4th and closer than maybe 1.
3rd and 4, 7:29 to go in the game. Brad will be out of the gun. 4 wide receivers. Sam Elliott to his left in the backfield. Brad wants to throw. Here's the swing pass to the near side to Elliott. And he is going to be...
Got it.
Breaks
First
out
down.
of the tackle and gets the first down. He was stopped short initially, but somehow squirted free and moved the sticks.
Well, Sam Elliott really showcased his strength that time. It was a great play call that time. The Crusaders went twin receivers to either side. Just squirted Sam Elliott out on a little swing pass on the near side. There wasn't any defenders in the vicinity when he caught it. They collapsed quickly on him. Looked like he was maybe going to be stopped short from the line of the game, but Elliott able to keep his balance and fall across the 45 for the first.
Up to the Crusader, or the Viking, 44-yard line. 1st and 10. We'll go inside 7 minutes to play in the game. Out of the eye, and back to Elliott, and a big hard hit up the middle. Forward progress to the 40. You're leading 18-7 and just slowly chipping away here on this drive.
Well, this clock is just continuing to burn off, and that's a beautiful thing for Bueller. Winfield had to burn a timeout earlier in the half, so they only have 2 timeouts remaining. And so every second that ticks off the clock, Bueller leading by 11, just moves the Crusaders closer to being 2-1 on the season.
2nd down and 6. Well, how big is that +3 tonight at the turnover?
Oh, it's been huge. It's been absolutely huge. Bueller was plus in the turnover margin. Winfield was negative tonight, coming in tonight, even though they were 2-0.
Out of the eye on 2nd and 6. Single receivers to either side. Here's Elliott running left and gets spun down as he gets across the 40 to the 39-yard line. We're looking at 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, triple nickels on the board as we go under 5:55 remaining. And that was one of Sam's lesser runs of the night, but still a 2-yard pickup.
So it's really been a showcase of the 2 backs, Elliott and Arcosta.
Yep.
Both have shown great ability.
Yeah, they are both some of the better backs, both seniors in D3 of the ABCTL.
Another 3rd down, 3rd and 5, out of the I formation. Brad will take the snap, play action, fakes to his tailback, rolling out far side. Oh man, he had Colin Rowland and a flag comes out at the end of the play. Brad had Colin Rowland wide open, and that is a rare mistake we've seen on Brad tonight.
Multiple flags coming out. Looked like they're going to get Sam Elliott for a hold here on the backside, and then another flag comes in on the play side, and with where it happened, it's probably going to be some sort of a personal foul, the second flag. But
yeah, that is a rare time tonight where Brad has been off on the pass. He had Rowland wide open on the far side. With the hold, it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway.
yeah, and Sam Elliott not very happy with the call, and he's not a guy that shows a lot of emotion, so Sam pretty upset about the call. And typically in football, they don't call backside holding very often, so I understand his frustration.
Well, that second flag is going to be the key.
It'll be something on the Crusaders. Somebody said something late because it came in after the ball was blown dead.
Well, here's the thing. You do not want to make Sam mad. I have seen him mad, and it's bad. He will tear this field up here in a couple minutes.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Ineligible receivers, downfield, Bueller. That penalty is applied. After the play, personal foul, offense, number 20. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed.
So they did not call a hold on Sam. They called him for a personal foul penalty. And that is going to be huge.
That'll force the Crusaders to punt it away. And it's interesting because, so if they had a legal, ineligible receiver downfield, that means that the initial penalty wasn't on Sam. So I don't know what happened to get into Sam varsity football for Bueller High School.
I don't remember him ever getting one in middle school or grade school either.
That'll push the ball back to the 46-yard line of the Crusaders. They'll have to punt it away. See if Jeffrey can pin him again. And try to angle it. Got a little bit too much hook on it that time. Hooked out of bounds near the 30.
Got another score update from Father Pritchard Field in Hutch on the Bueller Dental Care scoreboard update. Trinity Catholic blasting the Belle Plaine Dragons 34-0 over on Kansas Rocks 100.3. And McPherson now pulling further ahead of Great Bend right now, up 31-19.
Well, it has not been easy tonight for the offense. They have scored just the 2 touchdowns, the 1 defensive score in the game. I think another week where the defense has shown that the way this defense plays, you're always going to be in the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of playmakers out there, and it really is a pretty neat defense in the fact that lots of different guys contribute D-line, linebacking, and in the secondary.
This may be a must score here for the Vikings. 4 receivers, they go spread, flag out at the play, and Dupree is going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss back to the 35.
And on the sack for the Crusaders, Dalen Coffey just dropped him like a bad habit.
There's a flag out on the far side of the field.
And the mark it off against Winfield, I believe.
He brought down at the 36-yard line.
So they'll decline the penalty to bring up 2nd and 14 after the sack on the draw.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're Winfield and you get into these late situations where you're down multiple scores like we talked about,
and it not being a throwing team and having a sophomore just getting his 2nd high school start tonight.
Still a lot of things against them.
5 wide for the Vikes here.
Yeah. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Dupree throwing short, overthrows his receiver. And Deontay Campbell was set to light up the intended target, which was Cole Meyer. He catches that ball. Wham.
And Deontay showed a lot of discretion there because he could have just lit him up like a Roman candle. Maybe could have gotten into some trouble for hitting a defenseless receiver. So nice job by Deontay, kind of pumping the brakes a little bit there right before contact.
If Meyer catches that, he's fair game.
Yes.
Third down and 13. 4:44 to go in the game. Low snap taken by Dupree. Tolles! What a hit! It's a 50. Catches it right down at the first down stick. But another big pop at the end of that catch by Deontay Campbell.
And that time it was the same catch that Tolles made earlier today where it's just a little post route right near the first down marker. Caught it right at the 50, but like you said, dropped immediately after he made the catch.
Right at the stick, 10 yards, move it to the 50, 1st and 10. Down to 4:20 to go in the game. Vikings are going to have to burn a timeout, and Coach Lewis is rather displeased with his offense not getting lined up correctly.
Yeah, they lined up in an I and then tried to kind of motion, and Coach Lewis not pleased at all. Now they're down to just 1 timeout remaining with 4:17 left in the contest, and big.
Crusader football tonight brought to you by Sunflower Electric Supply, by Red Rock Auto Center, Henniger Family Dental, by Phoenix Restoration, and by Schmidt Electric. And our spark of the game. Well, at this point, fellas, we'll see what happens in the last 4:17, but at this point, how can it not be the INT by the big fella?
That was a huge play in this game.
Jackson Childs with a pick 6 for a touchdown.
Because you think about if that had not happened, we'd just be sitting on a little 12-7 lead, and it would make the scenario in this game way more dicey for Bueller.
And with Jackson being a big fella, it's always fun to see a big fella score a touchdown.
A touchdown came with 4:50 to go in the third. On an INT from Dupree as he was being chased in the end zone by the Crusaders. Childs picked it off, ran it back. Schmidt Electric, spark of the game. Schmidt Electric got the spark. First and 10 at the 50. After the timeout, they'll line up with a 3-back set behind Dupree. Play action, pressure off the edge. Hennessy throws, the receiver caught it. It's Arcosta out of the backfield. I'm telling you what, Dupree got lit up on that play. It showed the toughness to hang in there. And Arcosta helmet came off at the end of the play. He's going to have to come out of the game first down at the 29.
Yeah, the Crusaders brought Cameron Campbell on a backside, blindside blitz, and like you said, he just lit up Duprat. Nice poise there shown by being able to get it away. And Acosta just on a little seam route right up the gut for the pitch and catch. Yes.
At the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. 4 minutes left. Bueller 18, the Vikes 7. Out of the robust tee. Play action again, near side, and incomplete. Tight end, the intended target that time. That is Braylon Chatham, 6'1", 240, a junior. And the ball was thrown low and incomplete.
Yeah, Chatham really didn't try to make a play for the ball. Just like a little out route here near the Winfield sideline. And, yeah, that incompletion will stop the clock with 3:48 remaining.
Boy, as quickly as the first half went, a little bit of a different feel in the second half here.
Well, Winfield having to try to air it out here, being down 2 scores, has really kind of changed the pace and tempo of this fourth quarter.
Second down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Duprat out of the gun, wants to throw again. Pump fakes, now goes in the air, one-on-one. Campbell with another huge play, and he picked it off again. Or did he hold on?
Oh, he got the touchback. Great job by Deontay Campbell, his second pick of the night. Third INT of the evening for the Crusaders. Great job by Deontay Campbell. He's having a whale of a night.
What another huge defensive play by this Black Knight defense.
And a great job there by Campbell. Both Campbells are doing an awesome job being able to hold down towels because, I mean, like I said earlier, much bigger guy. He's at least 30 pounds heavier, almost a half a foot taller, and for them to be able to hold him like that is absolutely astounding.
Yeah, big play in the night, fellas, where the offense hasn't played bad, but points are kind of harder to come by. The Crusaders turning it over 4 times, all huge.
You know, they moved the ball a lot tonight. They just haven't been able to finish drives. 1st and 10 at the 20, out of the I formation. Sam Elliott, left side, now cuts back across the middle, 25. And brought down at the 27.
Now Lance Austin eventually finished him off, kind of rode him to the ground, looking like he was trying to bulldog a calf there. But I tell you what, this is really an opportunity here with the clock going or nearing the 3-minute mark for Bueller to just end this thing by pounding away at Winfield and burning the clock.
2nd and 5 at the Crusader Stadium against the El Dorado Wildcats. 2nd and 5 out of the I formation. And out to the fullback up the middle, has the first down across the 30 and up to the 32-yard line. And that is Cullen Rowland.
A nice hard yards up the gut there for Cullen Rowland to get the first down. Bueller doing a nice job on the clock management, not snapping the ball early on the play clock.
Another score update, our Reno County foe, Hutch was leading May South 14-13 with 7 minutes to go. May South's going to go away this game 28-14.
Hutch will start the year 1-2. 1st and 10 of the 32-yard line. Out of the I, back to the fullback. And they get it across the 35 up to the 37 goes Colin Rowland. No Sterling College football. They have a bye this week. So, KU K-State both in action tomorrow. Both at home.
Yeah, KU opening Big 12 play over 94-7. KSKU versus the Baylor Bears.
2:30 kick, 1 o'clock for the Crimson and Blue Show. Wildcats at home against Nevada tomorrow.
A bit nervous, Chris.
I am too. You talked about how big injuries can play an impact in the game, and Skylar Thompson being out, that makes the game pretty dicey for K-State.
2nd and 6, and a fumbled snap by Brad. He's able to fall on it at the 35.
Good heads-up play made by the senior, not trying to do anything cute there, just covering up the fumble. And we go under 1.5 minutes, clock continuing to burn. Bueller can snap it this next time with under 1 minute to play.
On Sunday, the Chiefs had some comeback magic in them, some Mahomes magic last week against the Browns, another tough team in Baltimore. Took on the Ravens Crusader Sports Network. Seconds left here on the fourth quarter clock in an 18-7 game. On a night when Bueller has forced 4 takeaways, 2 interceptions by Deontay Campbell, an INT return for a touchdown by Jackson Childs, and then the forced fumble by Matt Eddy. Bueller is going to have to punt it away. Vikings have a man deep back at the 30. Jeff Neal will punt from near his own 25. Gets it away with the right foot. Bounces and rolls inside the 30. It'll be down at the 25-yard line.
Carson Muller is going to take off with it.
Just in case it's a live ball.
Yeah, just in case they nicked one of the Winfield Vikings in the toes.
So 29 seconds left. Vikings out of timeouts.
After first, Mike take over first and 10. Third 24.
It was a long night last Friday. Very sticky, humid out there. It's supposed to cool off next week. And off, carry up the middle as the
ball came out.
Fullback, ball loose at the end of the play.
The ruling on the penalty, rubber down. Take down.
To the 30. Crusaders are going to win it 18-7. And still need it back about 500 now with 2-1 on the year. Again, it's Friday night. Vikings go on the road to McPherson on the 24th. Next here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. And welcome back in. Our Crusader locker room show tonight as the Crusaders win it by a final of 18-7. Bueller scored first in this game after Matt Eddy forced a fumble. Bueller gets the ball with 11:24 to go in the first half. They go 10 plays, 87 yards, and a 5-yard touchdown run by Sam Elliott. BAT no good to make it 6-0. Vikings answer right back after a big return to the Bueller 38. They go 8 plays, 38 yards, and a 3-yard touchdown run by Armand Acosta. 3:14 to go in the half, made it 7-6 Vikings. And then Bueller from their own 19, 5 plays, 81 yards. A 33-yard touchdown pass to Matthew Eddy. 48 to go in the half. They go for 2 and come up short, so it's 12-7 at the half. Crusaders would add one more score, a defensive score, in the second half. Vikings on a 3rd and long from their own end zone. And under pressure, Dupras lets go of the ball. And right into the waiting arms of Jackson Childs. Returns it into the end zone for a defensive touchdown. PAT missed again. So Bueller came up 0 for 3 on special team scoring opportunities tonight. 18-7 is the final. Talked about the fumble recovery by Matt Eddy. And then 3 picks, the one by Childs. 2 in the second half by Deontay Kennedy.
Yeah, the Crusader defense, I mean, it's bottom line, if your offense isn't, I mean, the offense didn't play poorly tonight, but if they're struggling to put points up, if your defense can turn somebody over 4 times, you're going to win a lot of football games. And then adding to that, if you can turn one of those turnovers directly into points like the Crusaders did. The defense came to play tonight. I know Coach Coles is going to be very pleased with the effort. And Deontay Campbell, I mean, there's a lot of guys who will go through a career with not having 2 picks, and for him to get 2 in one game, excellent effort by Deontay.
And I'm going to be completely honest. Goddard, the Crusader offense played great. And even though we struggled to capitalize on those big drives and score, I feel like the Crusaders had their best showing tonight on offense because Bradley being able to make those big runs, Sam being able to have the running game, and then Bradley being able to have the passing game again, all 3 are much needed. And so for them to be able to showcase that tonight, I feel like that was really great.
Well, and both offenses at times had some chances. Sam Elliott had a lot of constant ball feature backs, where you can see why. But Bueller in particular moved the ball well, just left several drives unfinished. I'm sure that Coach Warner would like a couple of those back.
Yeah, but overall, it's one of those nights that's, a win is a win is a win. And Bueller really, even though they didn't, beat them by 3 scores, Bueller really kind of controlled the game from start to finish, and good solid win that lots of team members helped to contribute to.
All right, let's wrap up our final numbers tonight. Inside the Numbers brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs. Proudly serving businesses in Kansas for the past 70 years. Online at AdamsBrownCPA.com. And Christopher has your totals.
Yes, all right. Got to make sure they pull up correctly here. Okay, so final totals this evening. Total offense, Bueller outgains Winfield 336 yards to 218. Bueller averaged nearly 6.5 yards a play compared to Winfield's 4.7. Through the air, Bradley Neal tonight goes 6 of 9 for 102 yards and 1 touchdown. For the sophomore quarterback, Landon Dupras, he goes 5 of 11 for 77 yards with 3 INTs. On the ground, Bueller outgains Winfield 234 to 141. Taking a look at those individual statistics for the Crusaders, Sam Elliott, big night tonight, 32 carries for 179 yards and 1 TD. Bradley Neal, you talked about it, Tyler. Good job on the ground as well. 6 carries for 40 yards. Colin Rowland 4 for 13, and Dalen Coffey with 1 carry for 2. For Winfield, leading rusher, no surprise here, Armand Acosta led the charge for Winfield, 22 carries for 93 yards and a TD. Landon Dupras, the quarterback, had 8 carries for 23. Parker Smith, 2 for 17. And Justice Tate, 3 of 18. Receiving-wise for the Crusaders, Colin Rowland, leading receiver in catches and yards, 2 catches for 42. Matthew Eddy had the 1 33-yard touchdown haul. Brock McCurdy had 1 12-yard catch. Dalen Coffey with 1 10-yard catch. And Sam Elliott with that 1 5-yard catch. Leading receiver for Winfield, Armand Acosta, 2 catches for 33 yards. Cayenne Tolles, 2 catches for 28. And Parker Smith, 1 catch for 16. And overall time of possession tonight, Buhler wins that 27-20. And so all around a game that Buhler kind of controlled from start to finish.
And they win it 18-7. We'll get thoughts from Coach coming up right after this. The Crusader Locker Room Show on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
See you guys.
Physical affair out there on the field tonight. That power running teams really smash it at each other, and you guys come out on the positive end of that. Yeah, somebody feed that big boy a steak tonight. Jackson Childs with a pick six, and you mentioned Deontay. I thought he and the other guys in the secondary played fantastic. Offensively, I thought there was, made the comment in the game. Brad had another efficient night. Did a fantastic job, 6 of 9, and at times he looked pretty comfortable there in the pocket. So a good sign moving forward. Well, that's spoken like a true Cowboys fan right there. So, how about Matt Eddy makes a big play on defense tonight, and he had another nice catch. He's really kind of emerged for you here the last couple of games. A very reliable guy at receiver, and mentioned a big play he had on defense. All right, Coach. Well, a couple of very physical back-to-back weeks. Hopefully, we've talked about that makes you a stronger team, and be good to be home. We had 3 in a row starting next week. So. Absolutely, Coach. We appreciate your time. Safe travels home. We'll talk to you Monday. There is Coach Steve Warner with us, his post-game comments, fellas, and I think overall proud of the effort that his kids came out and showed tonight against a very improved Viking team.
Yeah, like Coach said, this is a team that's going to win some games. I definitely would believe that Winfield will finish the year with a winning record and be somebody that could even have a first-round home game because they're a very physical team. And, Bueller's defense really came to play tonight, guys. And that's really the thing I come away with tonight. It was a physical night and against a physical team who their whole bread and butter is being a physical team, and we matched them step for step. And we're the more physical team this evening.
Yeah, the one glaring thing for me, the Vikings came into the game -2 in the turnover category, and they will leave -6. That's an area where you can really get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, and that's something that really, hats off to Bradley Neal on the offensive side because so many turnovers, and you saw it tonight come in that quarterback department. And with Neal's experience under center, does a great job just protecting the football. There was the one box snap that he covered quickly and just didn't force throws this evening. And, you saw the difference between – and I tell you what, Landon Duproix, he's going to be a good quarterback before it's all said and done. He's going to be one of those kids that when he walks into Bueller or we come down here when he's a senior, it's going to be one of those things that, man, he's going to continue to improve.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to our Dix Phillips 66 Phillip of the game. Phillip on top tier gasoline, snacks, and more. Dix Phillips 66, family owned, 4th and Stevens in Hutchinson.
I'm sure Dennis is probably listening to us live from the Pronto Pup stand that he works during the state fair.
Well, his wife Janet, she is all in on the Pronto Pup.
I know. Well, I told Dennis when I saw him at the Pronto Pup stand on Wednesday that I was personally going to every single stand buying Pronto Pups trying to find it. That's the only reason I ate like 17.
Well, Dwayne Dixie, where I saw them at the fair on Tuesday, they were working the stands, so got to get to the fair, and it's our shameless plug for the Pronto Pups and the Weedle family. Very good stuff. Phillip of the game came their big moment to one of Bueller's offensive scores, one of their 2 in the first half. 1:48 left. And a 33-yard touchdown pass. This is second quarter from Brad Neal to Matt Eddy. Made the score 12-7 at halftime. Tyler, and you heard Coach say that Matt will be a very, very important part of this offense next year, but I feel like he has kind of forced himself into that conversation this year?
Well, first off, as a sophomore, he was already getting a lot of minutes towards the last half of the season. And like we talked about earlier, Chris, ever since you've been able to see him since freshman year, you've been saying that this kid is going to show up and he's going to play and he's going to be consistently good. And not even on the football field. This kid is solid on the baseball field. I mean, striking out like 3 times all spring and summer season. He's definitely one of the best hitters on the team and is consistently a good first baseman and outfielder. So not even on the football field is Eddie good. But, yeah, like Coach Warner was saying, he's probably going to need a couple breaks because even Sam gets off the field every once in a while. But he's basically going to have to be the leader of the team next year, but we're thinking about this year and being able to be one of the lead receivers. He's called Speeds for a reason, being able to get fast and open during that pass and be able to catch it and score for the touchdown.
That is one thing nobody has ever called me, Speeds.
Never talked about you being a speed merchant back in your Wellington days?
You know, I once finished second in a hurdles race. I told you this story.
Was it a 2-man heat?
The other guy in the race won.
Oh.
But, hey, I still got the second place.
Was that in the South Haven days or was that a Wellington time?
It was probably back in the South Haven.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. So that our Phillip of the game. We'll get to our Winfield Steel Products Man of Steel tonight. From storage tanks to steel walkways, stairways, and platforms, Winfield Steel Products is the expert in steel fabrication. And our Man of Steel, Deontay Campbell, who made a couple of huge INTs, had a couple of other big plays in the game. And I guess what stands out there is him and his brother Cameron really playing at a high level here. And they've not been playing football for very long, only for a couple of years.
Well, the thing that really impressed me, when you're a corner and you're dealing with a team like Winfield that's going to be running the football, you know, your job is going to be primarily run support. They both did a good job being physical and run support. And then the few times that Winfield tried to air it out, 2 of the times Deontay picked them off. And so, I mean, they were solid on both sides in run support and in pass coverage. And just, you guys know, and Aaron, you know from watching Bueller football for more years than I have, you know, when you have a good secondary, that's something that just gives you an incredible amount of strength. And if your secondary is kind of a weak spot, it's something that can come back to haunt you. And this Bueller secondary, really, they play hard and they play physical.
Well, the Campbell twins, they're 2 of the fastest kids in the state. So being able to have that with their speed, just not letting anybody behind them. And like I said earlier, I never said his name right, but Kyan Toll, I finally said it right. Being able to just contain him, being much bigger, is great. And so the 2 picks that Deontay had were when he was guarding Kyan Toll.
Very good stuff. And interesting. We played 3 running teams to start the year. We've got 2 more coming up. And before we start, some teams like McPherson Circle will air it out a little bit more. So,
yeah, well, we are going to be well prepared to try to stop the run. One of the nice things, too, with Bueller being so good at running the football, you get good at defending what you're good at on offense. And so, you know, our guys are used to playing against a physical offense. And, yeah, that just makes us that much better. So if the secondary can continue to defend the pass, that's always going to be probably the side that we're not as strong at defensively. But they've done a great job, and they're doing a great, excellent effort tonight.
Yep, back to wrap it up right after this. HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Nickerson. Hoisington defeated Halstead on Kicks Country 106 tonight in CKL action, 46-20. It was a running clock for most of the second half. And on Kansas Rocks 100.3 KNZS, the Celtics of Trinity Catholic get their first win of the season, shutting out the Belle Plaine Dragons 34-0. And the last score we have out of Great Bend, I know there was a delay due to an injury, was McPherson up 34-19 over the Panthers.
All right, elsewhere, Smoky Valley beat Hillsboro tonight 14-8. Dodge City over Wichita South 35-16. Garden City beat Wichita West 49-0. And Central Plains an 8-man play over Otis Bison 26-12. Fourth quarter, Arc City leading Goddard 27-14. That is a big score for the Bulldogs. Valley Center blanking Coffeyville 51-0. Trinity Academy beat Douglas by 1. Boy, that's an unusual score, 19-18. Not a typical football score there. Fourth quarter, Lewisburg leading Rock Creek 28-27. Mac did win, final 34-19. And their game over Great Bend. 6-man football. They'll be officially sanctioned next year. Cunningham beats Fowler tonight. The Wildcats beat the Gold Ones 67-18. Salina South in the fourth, leading Campus 30-0. May South beats Hutch 28-14. Holton will win 28-7 over Perry Compton. Fourth quarter, Andover 28, Salina Central 19. Smith Center blanks Ellenwood tonight 60-0. TNP beat Plainville 21-0. Third quarter score, Pratt 36, Heston 0. Mulvane was leading Clearwater 23-7. And fourth, Norwich over Caldwell in 8-man football 34-28. Those are some of the other scores. Third quarter, Little River leading Gossel 32-14. Our Bueller Dental Care scoreboard, and pretty cool. Just want to mention that they made some changes. Keisha did this week to the layout of the football divisions for next year. A few teams are going to be sliding down to that 6-man, so that kind of affects the other guys above them. But the 6-man guys will have their own playoffs, officially sanctioned by Keisha next fall.
Yes, yeah, and the big talking football in Keisha, the count day is on Monday, and so the fates of every school in the state of Kansas for all sports will be set on the 20th. So they'll classify, of course, all sports for this year on the 20th, and football will set up the 2-year cycle for the next 2 years based on how that count comes out on Monday. And it'll be interesting to see. You know, they're going to move 8 schools out of 3A and 8 schools out of 2A down to 1A, so it'll just be 40 schools in each of those. And I know we were debating on the way down here, Tyler, with there being some big classes at Bueller, you know, if we could possibly move to 5A. I don't know. I don't think.
Surprised.
Yeah, I'm with Aaron on that. It might not happen, but if you're right, Tyler, then it's Wendy's on us.
I don't think it'll happen this year, but in the next couple of years.
You break down the numbers.
So this freshman class is the biggest class BHS has had in how many years, Colton?
Is it over 200?
It's over 200.
Okay. Because that was always kind of the big bell mark. I know my wife's class is over 200 back. So class
coming up?
2001.
And 8th grade is big, 7th grade is big, and I believe 6th grade is big. And then after that, it starts getting to our normal classes again.
Hey, big shout out to Dub Warner tomorrow.
Yes, Caden Warner. I promised him a little shout out. Debate starts tomorrow. His son Calvin's in it too, so good luck to them.
They're at Collegiate tomorrow. Good luck to some of our little guys. Everybody at Wellington tomorrow?
A lot of the Bueller teams are.
Good luck to them. And I know tennis is playing tomorrow as well, so good luck to the Lady Crusaders. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our broadcast tonight. Bueller wins it to improve to 2-1 on the season, 13-0 all time against the Vikings. And boy, starts with one game at a time. You want to win that league title, try to wrestle that sucker away from McPherson coming up later in the 18-7. The final. We'll see you next Friday night, 7 o'clock kick. Homecoming against El Dorado, Crusader Stadium. We'll be out at 6:25 for our Midway Motors drive to the game. And join Coach Warner and me Monday night. Our Crusader Coaches Show will be live at 6:30 at Taco John's. for Chris Shank, Cliff Shank, Tyler Adams, and Colton Hines. Did I get them all?
Yep.
I think I got them all. I'm Aaron West. Pete Schroeder, by the way, is our master of ceremonies back at home and does a fantastic job. Hope all of you have a great weekend. Maybe we'll see you at the fair this weekend. You've been listening to Crusader Football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.